The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
We're back for day 3 of the challenge season for Call of Duty Mobile in NA. Our teams are still fighting to see who is the best in the region, who will make their way through to challenge finals, and of course, who will make their way to the Call of Duty Mobile World Championship 2024. We will send 2 teams through to the challenge finals today, and they will be one step closer to their goals. So let's find out which teams can qualify. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snapdragon Pro Series.
Looks like the players are ready. Here we go!
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Snapdragon Pro Series, where we are continuing on our journey here in the challenge season for North America in Call of Duty Mobile. Today is a big day because, like I said earlier, 2 teams will be moving on to the challenge finals. This is the point of the competition we've been waiting for to see who those teams will be. My name is Glitter Explosion, and I'll be your host for the show here today. We're bringing the boys back in as well. We've got Infinity and Gilmania to talk us through all of the action. Brody, another week has come. It's time for us to start narrowing down these squads. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, you said it, mate. At the end of today, we'll have a couple of teams in challenge finals for North America. I absolutely love the region. Last week was jam-packed. It was utterly insane as we looked over towards Group B. I can't believe how packed that group was. And today, we're going to get to see the conclusion of that group. And I get my first look at Group A as well, which is also going to be fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Gil, you're back for another day joining us. Thank you so much. Are you excited to see what happens?
I am thrilled. I cannot wait for more. I definitely need to see that conclusion of both these groups. As Infinity mentioned, the B group really stacked, but we also gotta see what's gonna happen on Group A.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, we'll explain that all to you guys here in just a second. But if you're just joining us here for the first time and you want to see what happened previously or in any of the other regions or what happens in the future, follow us on social media, okay? We have X, Insta, and Facebook. As long as you're following along with us on there, you won't miss a single second of any of the action that we've got going on here in the Snapdragon Pro Series. Or you can join our Discord at discord.gg/Snapdragon Pro Series, where you can join our community, talk all things Call of Duty Mobile, and of course, continue getting all of those updates. Now, let's talk about what going on here so far. Obviously, we've got 2 weeks of competition under our belts, and that means we did 1 week with Group A, 1 week with Group B in our GSL style format here. Group A has been a little while since we've seen them, but today we're going to be focusing on that upper bracket final, okay, between Status Quo and Kaya Nation. Whoever wins that match will be the first team to move on into the challenge finals, and then whoever drops down will be facing off against Oris Esports for that second spot that is available for Group A. Then on the flip side of that, we also have Group B. We just watched Group B compete against each other last week, and we'll be watching them on the second half of today as they will be also going through their upper bracket portion of the competition. That will be between Tribe and Nexus, which is sure to be a headbanger. And then, of course, whoever loses is not knocked out of the competition. They'll drop down, and then they will be facing off against Hydra for that last and final spot in the challenge finals. So we're doing one match from each of our two groups here today. We'll be starting off the day with Status Quo versus Kaya Nation, Brody.
Yeah, look, we'll talk about the matches specific in just a second here, but my overview is, before we even get into that discussion, is I think we've got two very different matches on the schedule. I think Nexus versus Tribe Gaming is going to be a banger, and I could not be more excited to get into that matchup. For Status Quo versus Kaya Nation, though, I think it is very much one of those David versus Goliath scenarios where Status Quo, they had a relatively easy time for their first game of the tournament. Kaya Nation, yeah, we gotta give them props for being truly, but Status Quo, I mean, a totally different beast.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see some interesting storylines playing out here today. And like we said, whoever loses is not yet out of the competition. Right now, we're focusing on qualifying two teams through to challenge finals. But you saw it there on the schedule. Like we said, Status Quo versus Kaya Nation. First match on the day. Before we get into it, though, guys, we've been doing this a couple times so far. If you haven't done it, we've got a QR code. We're going to pop it up on the screen. We've got a survey that we want you to take. Okay, scan that with your mobile devices. It'll take you to a survey and just let us know your thoughts about everything we've got going on here at SPS. What you love, areas you think we can improve. We want to hear from you and continue making this program as fantastic as we know that it is. But let's start talking about match number one. We'll start getting these rosters pulled up as well. Gil, talk to me a little bit about your thoughts here on Status Quo versus Kaya Nation.
I completely agree with what Infinity mentioned. Is the fact that Status Quo, one of those teams that I've mentioned, in my opinion, has really adapted to the introduction of Mexico into the North American region. Here we can see Blur, Band, Puedes, Shisui, Cyrax, and Rihan. Those players, I gotta say, they combine one of the best players from multiple teams in their time when he was from Mexico and at the side of North America. And on the Group A, they've done just so good on their first match. And on the other hand, you got Kaya Nation, a team that, believe it or not, at first glance, well, let's be honest, it's a lot of players that we haven't seen a lot in the past. It's a team that, in an interesting turn of events, ended up playing on this point of the tournament and capitalized on either a mistake or an issue from different teams, different players, and they got to this point. So it's gonna be interesting to see, but like I mentioned, I agree with Infinity. This should be really one-sided.
I think it's just really tough. Just looking at that Status Quo roster, I was really sad I didn't get to cast them the first week of action. I was out that week because this roster is so cool. Just looking at it, you mentioned it right. The mix of Mexico players coming in with North American players, kind of an oddball set of players as well. Blur, one of the players that got dropped from Mayhem towards the end of the regular season, back last season, even though he was a phenomenal player that ended up benefiting that Mayhem team. Then you got banned from Seminole as well. And of course, you mentioned just the power of the players from Mexico joining this lineup. It is, I think, just the perfect litmus test for this is what happens when Mexico joins North America.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, now that you guys at home know a little bit more about our squads, the map vetoes are ready to go. We're going to pull those up, start talking about that, as this is the final piece of our match one puzzle, kicking things off with that Hacienda hard point. And, you know, we get a seaside in there, at least there, Brody. Okay, we didn't see too much of that, so this will be exciting.
Yeah, Seaside's a fun one because it's one of those ones where it's like spawn trap central. I am very concerned for Kaya Nation on that map because if there's any team that's going to get you in a spawn trap, it's going to be Status Quo. So that's going to be interesting to sort of see that one come through. And it's going back to the conversation point we've had before, right, about these maps coming through that you wouldn't normally see in more competitive series per se. If you're a squad like Status Quo, play them now. You're going to get experience versus top teams now. You know, figure out, hey, if something's going wrong on these maps, this is the best time to do it, comparatively to, all right, now you're facing Tribe, now you're facing Nexus in playoffs. That's not when you want to see those maps. So I think that's why you're seeing maybe more variety here.
Gil, give me your thoughts.
No. Absolutely, I absolutely agree with that. And I was also looking right now at the map rotation we're about to see. And, well, I'd like to get more in-depth about what potentially Kaya could try to do to hopefully and potentially bring in a surprise. But the surprise might be, you know, a play here and there on Search and Destroy, maybe a couple of rounds, if that. but it's just gonna be really, really difficult. And as Infinity mentioned, you got another team like Tribe that it's complicated to get experience from. Of course, you get the experience of playing against the best of the best there is, right? But at the same time, there's gotta be a way for you to climb and not just get knocked in the head at the first try.
I think this is going to be interesting to see what our teams can bring to the table. At the end of it, though, one will claim their spot in our challenge finals, and match number 1 should be about ready to get underway. So, Bernie, Gil, let's get into it.
All right, thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, first match of the day here. We've only got 2, and at the end of it, we will have 2 teams in our challenge finals for North America. I mean, surely it has to be status quo, right? Like, I always want to be a little bit positive for teams. I always be like, hey, here's a way into the series. And there still could be, given the fact that Kai Nation were able to take Truly down. But for me, status quo here. I mean, they're just such an indomitable roster.
And I mean, at the same time, they took Truly down, but let's be reminded that 2 of the 3 maps that they took, it was a 5v4, right? There was an issue on the side of Truly. They tried to just make up on the scenario, but it was a 5v4, right? It's a 5v4. At the end of the day, you're always on the downside. So on the third one on Control, yeah, they took the victory, and with a different side of Kaya Nation, but well, let's not wait any longer. Infinity, pardon me. Let's go straight into the action. Let's go straight into the game. And look at that. That's the favorite player of the night. We're going to start looking at Dix here with the Fennec immediately going for the push. Does take a kill before getting knocked down at the... Oof, 5 kills nearly already happening in favor of Status Quo.
Yeah, status quo. Indomitable roster, I already mentioned it, right? One of those threatening teams that Kai Nation gonna have to be worried about. And I think the thing for me is for Kai Nation, it's very easy to say here on the casting desk, but you do not want to get overwhelmed. You don't just want to fall right off the rip. Status quo, very easy to just die to them, lose map control, and for the game to fall out of your hands. And that does feel like from the initial rip here, that's what's happening. As Zyrax picks up a couple of kills up top, Status Quo get in dominant control of the kill feed. They've also got control of the rotation towards P2 as well. Streak's already starting to be earned. This is not great for Kai Nation. You're trying to push through France's side with 15 seconds left. You're still fighting for control of P1.
Yeah, and at this point, well, they're gonna start moving to the other side, and they're not. I feel like Kai Nation are definitely late to what's going on. Yes, you can fight off for the last few seconds, but at the same time, you're gonna be a bit late onto the second rotation, onto the garage. I feel like Cyrax is in a great spot, but there's gonna be plenty of people pushing onto him at the same time. He's gonna get the help from Puedes. He gets knocked down. Puedes tries to get inside. That's gonna be a double there in favor of John. Goes for the triple. Ben is gonna knock him down. Although I said that Kaya was rotating late, they managed to pull through and pushing at the same time. That allowed him a clean enter on point number 2 that I gotta say got me a bit surprised on how they're playing.
Yeah, good effort from Kai Nation there to get through. They do need to worry about spawn flips potentially coming through, though. I think you can see Puedes towards the back line, just trying to be cautious about it. Make sure that they do flip the spawns back in favor of status quo. Kai Nation, do they read it? Tavison and Dix don't, unfortunately. Zyrax able to double up. Now Zyrax looking for more inside the hard point. Puedes will find a couple of kills. Blur for number 3. Rehan for number 4. Status quo white. Kai Nation out for the back 20 seconds here. Kaya again, they're getting close spawns. And curiously here, not focusing on the rotation, we see an investment coming through from John Snack, the War Machine for the scrap time. And yeah, they'll pick up Ban, they'll pick up Blur. It's a 3-piece coming through from John Snack, but investment for the scrap time. They're kind of fortunate in a way that Status Quo still have those back spawns.
It definitely feels confusing to me how they just decide to push the hardest when it's about to be over. But, well, so far they've gotten 34 seconds as they begin rotating onto the next area. Once again, trying to regain control. We're going to get a glance onto John, who gets executed. Dix now trying to get inside of the hill. There's going to be the use of the Sparrow. Not going to be getting much value off of that. Blur with the War Machine at a distance, just bouncing with those bullets. Not gonna get any kills in here. Merely pushing more now with the equalizers. There's Rehan up top trying to make it happen. And if I'm being truly honest with you, Infinity, I just feel like Status Quo are just not hard trying, you know?
Yeah, this is the thing, and I was wondering how much we'd see this in this series. It's too early to tell at this point, and I don't want to take anything away from Kai Nation at this stage of the competition, because to ever say a team isn't trying is kind of disrespectful, I guess, to a certain extent to the team that they're necessarily not trying against. But there is an element of you're not going to go as hard as you would against the likes of Nexus or against the likes of Tribe. It's certainly a very different experience, and for that reason, I don't think something will be anywhere near as perfect for status quo. Streak will be utilized, though, momentarily there. We look towards the minimap, and Kai Nation should be the first team to touch over by Newt. Tavison will be the one inside that time. Smoke going to go down as well. Yoju, big gunfight versus Zyrax down low. Zyrax going to take it, and now you're starting to see the triangulation of players. Tavison is trying to be all sneaky like inside the smoke. Will get shut down. Status quo now break that rotation early.
That's right. Now they're trying to get a clean control with the smoke size. Gets the first goes for the second, gets executed at a distance. There's Puedes with the use of the Annihilator. Gets one, gets two, gets there's a double now before Bandit, who continues to clean anything up. Puedes at a distance, just annihilating any sort of entrance. Now with the Odin tries to make it happen again and again. Killed. There's going to be the use of another operator. A good use of the is going to be broken now by the hands of I believe that was Tabocine, who with a great usage of the operator will get the last few seconds. Once again, we're talking about the same thing over and over. Kaya always late, but in a sense still getting points, and well, the advantage is now going to be of about 40 or so seconds in favor of status quo as we continue moving, but something has to happen in order for Kaya to attempt to close that gap.
Yeah, I've got to give Kai Nation some props right now because, again, you know, questions about how much status quo are putting into this game thus far. They are keeping this game relatively close, certainly closer than Forest Esports were able to against status quo back in week 1. That was a 250-88 game. Of course, Apocalypse hardpoint, so different map. It does serve status quo a little bit differently, but nonetheless, Kai Nation keeping this significantly closer. Still, though, the game could get away from at any given moment here, and now status quo want to try and get control of P1. Ban going to get the up close and personal kill with the Hunter Killer drone. Kills now starting to come through from Kaya Nation, though, as they look to fight their way back through. Tavison will take Band out of the plate. Pinstripe kill feed. Status quo not in control, not sucking up that time, but they're looking to approach it from all angles. Kills now, it's a full blue kill feed of status quo. I mean, they're out of the kill for all of, what, 5 seconds, and then they're straight back in for the remainder of the time.
And as I begin to take a look into how many kills the side of status quo has got, nearly 20 for each in every single one of them. On Rehan right now, currently onto 18, but I'm sure he's gonna get there quite soon. Ben now, a little bit of body shooting while waiting onto some enemy to walk by. That was Dix, who gets a kill, but it nearly gets executed at a distance by Rehan. Then Puedes now at a distance cleaning that area. Johu trying to make it double, goes for the triple, still has a few bullets through the smoke, gonna push through. Trophy not gonna be there on time. The War Machine does get a kill, but Johnny immediately gets executed by Blur. That's a kill after kill now in favor of status quo. They are getting more and more of an advantage. We talk about how Kaya was doing an okay job at putting up a fight, but at this point they are snowballing hard on them.
Yeah, that's a better investment from John Snack than it was. It was the same hard point, but a very different situation. Still not going to work out, unfortunately. He only finds one kill with it as he gets taken out by the War Machine on the other side now. See also the equalizers coming out from Recon. Picks up a couple of kills here. Status quo finding a lot of value. They're reading exactly where Kai Nation are coming from. John Snack able to find one, but it's just a little bit of rebellion, and status quo not allowing it in this situation. I was talking about this game being close as we got towards the end of the first set here, Gil. It doesn't look like it's close now. 100-point deficit. Kai Nation having to fight back from.
That's right, 176, and now there's gonna be Kaya Nation for one of the first times actually being there first as they try to prevent enemies from walking by. Let's see if they can do it. We're gonna have a clear view from up top, but it's not gonna be easy to defend against Puedes and Ben. Then up top, there's a Pred missile by Ben, who executes Jojo, and just like that, the break has happened in favor of status quo. Kaya are trying. There's the user of the Annihilator, this time not taking that much value in favor of that play from status quo. At a distance, Cyrex here with the Sparrow, gonna be spamming with it, but the use of the trophy will knock him down. Blur through the smoke gets his 29th kill, and at a distance, Puedes will both push at the same time. That's one, goes for two, immediately seeking for the next kill there. He does a lot of damage, but Kaya manages to defend him just like that. They're gonna be getting into triple digits. Kaya Nation are still fighting, trying, seeking, looking for an opportunity as they continue to grow, but there's always gonna be the fact that, for example, on the side of Kaya Nation, Hards right now, only 10 kills over there.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, right, to pin it all on one player. I think that the entire Kai Nation are lagging behind in the kills department, and that's a big reason why right now status quo have the lead that they do, but still, If maybe Hydes can pick things up a little bit, Kai Nation might be able to be a little bit more competitive here on this Hacienda. But first and foremost, they got to get Status Quo out of this hill. Big gunfight inside. Blur's going to invest the War Machine. We'll get a kill against it. Puedas is doing a really good job at keeping these guys at bay. He is spawn trapping at the moment against Kaya Nation. Going to get cut down by Yoju and Blur's War Machine will expire. Status Quo can't finish things here regardless, but again, immediate shutdown coming through from Status Quo. We see the Sparrow from Yoju and it doesn't last at all.
Oh my goodness, now the operators, the score streaks, everything falling under for the side of Kaya Nation. There's Band now with 40 kills, and he's not the only one, let me tell you. That's going to be the same scenario for Puedes. The usage of the 100-killer drone at a distance. Cyrus is going to try to break through alongside with his teammates. There's still 10 seconds left off this hill. They're trying to defend this hard suit. Smoke taking a lot of damage. Sark still surviving, getting concussed. They are throwing everything at him. Finally, they're going to kick him out, but on the very last second, they only managed to capitalize a few extra seconds. We're heading back into point number 1, and ladies and gentlemen, there's not a lot that Kaya can do. This is exactly what we were expecting. Status Quo, I wouldn't say that they were not trying, they were just warming up a little bit, and right now it seems like they've been all up.
Yeah, maybe this is their warm-up here in this game. Again, try not to go too hard on Kaya Nation. This is a really difficult opponent to try and take down, and they're trying their best, but still not a lot of success. Every single operator they've tried to bring out as get out of jail free card against Status Quo and ace up their sleeve has gone all right. And well, for Status Quo, their operators have been significantly more effective. Rehan doing a really good job at zone control. Status Quo just a few seconds away from victory. Puedas wants to add insult to injury here with the Annihilator, looking for the final few gunfights. Kaya Nation all forced through that new side, and they do take down Cyrex and Ban from the hard point. So an opportunity here to try and keep Status Quo out for the last few seconds. But as I say that, a couple of kills do come through, and Status Quo in cruise control for game number 1.
Yeah, they tried their hardest, and they had a few moments where, well, we saw that Kaya are definitely good players, but you said it, Status Quo are just a different breed. And in here, as we take a glance into the highlights of this game, I would say that it was definitely just them warming up in a way. You know, they took their time. They were not, they were never losing, let's be honest. They were never losing on the side of Status Quo. They just had a couple difficulties here and there just at the beginning, but as time went on and on and on, that advantage just keep on growing, and well, nearly doubling the amount of points the opponents have had on that game. That's the 1-0 lead in favor of Status Quo. Like we mentioned, we expected that, but big props to the side of Kaya Nation, you know?
Yeah, Kaya Nation, I mean, they kept it close during the first set, but I do wonder how much of that was Status Quo, as you already pointed out, right, warming up through the first half. And as we got into the second, things became, well, we'll say significantly less close, as Status Quo got pretty much control of every single rotation. Kaya Nation never really got more than 15 points out of any one hard point during that second and final set. Status Quo just really started to run away with the game. We talk about fundamentals here in COD Mobile quite often, and one of those things that we're always having the conversation about is operator utilization. And every single time that we saw something from Status Quo, we saw 3 or 4 kills with those operators for Kaya Nation, never more than 1 or 2. We take a look at our final scoreboards, and Puedas almost drops 50 damn kills in the game. Band also at 47, a heck of a performance.
Oh my goodness, the KD off of everybody is just insane on the side of Status Quo. And I gotta say, with what you just pointed out about the usage of the operators, I completely agree, and it goes even beyond that. I truly feel that that's a real issue on the side of Kaya Nation. Why do I say this? For people there home who may have also watched the first week of this Group A, Kaya Nation, when they were playing against Truly on that third game of Control, we were questioning Proper and I the same issue, the same situation, the fact that they just at some point nearly feels randomly use the operator. You saw the War Machine getting it popped on 10 seconds left off a hill. I don't know how much good, how much value you're gonna take off of that, and like I mentioned, it's not the first time they've done it. It's an issue that's been going on now for quite some time that they definitely need to fix at some point.
Yeah, I think if we just talk big picture here for a second, right, I think the biggest issue is ultimately the Kaya Nation are a roster that, I mean, we talked about this actually in the green room before we went live, right, that you do research for these teams and you look for kind of what's going on with Kaya Nation, what are they like, what's their history, and the history is just nothing compared to status quo. And even on status quo, right, you talk about, you know, you've got the Mexican players joining the lineup, and even they, in Latin America, have significant history to talk about, whereas for Kaya Nation, I mean, there's nothing. There's just nothing to talk about. Maybe that's on me. I don't know. But, like, it is just a very, very different team. They are right up against it here, but they've been thrown in the deep end. And unfortunately, well, they've not got any arm paddles. So, status quo here. 1-0 up in this best of 5. Kaya Nation now got to go to a Tunisia search and destroy to try and fire back.
Yeah. You guys got no clue. Thrilled I am with this game because I want to see the sniper play, and right as I say that, Band is gonna open up the floodgates with the first kill onto Joju. It's gonna be the first blood of the match. Then John gonna execute him. That's a revenge kill in favor of the side of Kaya Nation. Blur gonna impact through the wall onto Dix, and that's gonna be the 2-for-1 trade as we see Rehan pushing through, gonna get a kill, immediately gets traded back. That's gonna be a 2-for-2. No, now Blur gets the kill onto John. 2v1. Kaya not doing so bad at Hearts. He's on his own now.
Yep, Hearts pushed out of the site here. Might be able to get some time to get back in towards it, though. As the bomb goes down, that's the timing he's looking for. It's about to. So careful about this. Utility over the top. That's going to stun Hearts. It's actually going to be the smoke. And this is not that beneficial to Hearts. He has to exit the smoke. He's going to have no idea whether or not either of these players will be looking at him. But he still has to make it happen regardless. Stun doesn't connect for anything. He has so many different areas to check in this situation. He has no idea what the setup looks like, and I don't think he's just spotted out Zyrak as well. Hearts, surely dead to right. Somehow Zyrak is actually going to whip that first shot. Hearts is living a little bit longer than he would expect, and actually going to find that one kill versus Zyrak. So now, a 1 versus 1. Looking for the last player. Gets the full regen off. Blur just trying to waste some time off the clock here. Ring around the rosy around the area. Hearts is looking for the kill with the prize fighters, and Blur's going to get it done with a pistol in the end anyway. Just having a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, at some point you just gotta realize that you're probably, even if you get the kill, you're not gonna get the round. He noticed that. That's why he was just rushing for that kill. Unfortunately enough, Blur was waiting head first there with the pistol to knock him down. This time around, well, it seems like they may have forgotten the bomb. I don't know what's going on over here. There you go. We're gonna have Rehan come back and get that. Oh my god, Cyrus with a shotgun. Gonna get one, gonna go for 2 and takes it like it's nothing. Just like that, Cyrus with a double. And then one of his allies also finding another kill. That's gonna be the 3 for no trade in favor of status quo.
Kaya just like, it's like they're weeping angels at the moment. I know they usually move at lightning speed,
right?
but they're just stuck right now. Yeah, Kaya Nation now back in the situation, though, for a 2 versus 5. They've got to try and retake the middle of the map. First problem is going to be Bant looking directly at them. Moves out of the scope there. Tavison going to be dead to rights regardless. Didn't quite expect a second one, so John Snack will be able to catch him off guard and gets the hit on towards Zyrax, but the shots with the pistol nowhere near as crispy, and I don't think the shot with the sniper rifle went where it needed to go for the one-shot kill. So status quo. Second round on the board. They get themselves on towards A, and Kaya no chance for the retake.
Yeah, no, this round nowhere near what we saw on the first one. We still have 3 players on the side of Kaya Nation with a big old donut on their numbers. Let's see what's gonna happen. Round number 3. Nades nearly hitting there over onto Cyrax, who once again will be pushing. Gets concussed, but this time he can hide. Goes for the kill. Tries to take it. Yeah, that's a headshot. Goes for the double. This time they do get a revenge kill onto him. Band at a distance gets the knock onto Hearts, and he knows that there's people up there. He was waiting. Bad timing for him. Tries to change his angle. Not gonna be enough. Joju with a kill onto Band, but in the meantime, Bomb is gonna be down.
Tavison gonna make this a 2 versus 2. Blur though, so frustrating to go up against that. Yoji runs straight into him. Tavison isn't there for an immediate trade, and they're still all going down this one lane. You need crispier shots than that if you want to take down Recon. Blur also with a sniper rifle is a constant problem for Kaya Nation. Is status quo now find their 3rd round in a row, and if I'm Kaya, I start to change up the strategy a little bit here, to be honest with you. They've not been able to win these first bloods, and I think you've just got to 5-hit one of these sites. Do it as a team. Make a bit of a gamble, because at this point, losing 3 defensive rounds is problematic enough.
Let's see though. They're on defense, but can they actually defend against the power over that's being brought to you by none other than status quo here? Through the wall once again. Ban gonna get the knock onto Joju. Rihan gonna be pushing. Ooh, Tabotsin with a good knock that allows the side of Kaya Nation to reposition. There's Puedes with the kill, goes for the double, gets the assist and turns around, takes the kill like it's nothing. Tabotsin, I don't know what you were doing, but that's not gonna be nothing compared to what the status quo are bringing in to the table. I honestly don't understand how he survived that long. Tabotsin, that should have been an easy kill for him. It was just not. 4-0, status quo are no longer playing games no more. At this point in time, they've already warmed up and are ready to get this over with.
I mean, it is just ridiculous right now. Status Quo continue to make this look so easy. Again, I love this different look, though, coming up from Kaya Nation. I want to see something different. That's exactly what they're going for here. Trying to unnerve Status Quo off the start of this round, but you do actually need to follow up with the kills. Unfortunately, they've not been able to do that. Yoju will find Zyrax through the middle of the map. Tavasin's also able to take not one, but two players down on the flank. What a play call from Kaya Nation, looking for their first search and destroy round. Now Puedes here for the 1 versus 3. Got to try and retrieve that bomb. A lot to do.
I mean, that's exactly what you mentioned, right? Push all as one team together. That's pretty much what they did. It works out near perfectly. That's 4-2 trade. Puedes completely on his own. Oh my god. Nearly gets a second headshot there that would have ended Tabotsin, but this time he gets his redemption arc. Takes that kill, takes that round. Kaya puts the first round for themselves. And I gotta say, although Tabotsin is the one with the most kills, I still am questioning how he allowed his enemy to survive for that long. Status quo for the second time so far this game are gonna forget the bomb for a second.
That's gonna be the same look again from Kaya Nation, but you can't fool Status Quo twice. Tavasin and Dix is still gonna win the gunfights though. Kaya Nation here, starting to find something that will work. John Snack for the trades. All of a sudden, Puedes, the last one left alive in a 1 versus 2. He will fall down. Kaya Nation, 2 rounds on the bounce there. They pull out the same strategies. It might be a little too late into the search and destroy, though, that they figured it out now, because they will switch sides. Kaya Nation now need to make offense work.
And I mean, side of Kaya Nation, 22-second round, ladies and gentlemen. You went to get yourself some water, and the round was over. John with the first blood. John looking for the second. Let's see if he can make it happen. So far, 5 kills for him. Gonna be throwing a nade. Let's see if he can cook or not. Seemingly not gonna be the case. 5v4, Tabotsin. 8 kills, gonna be pushing, gets the assistance, sends to the help. Oh, the double kill for Joju, but gets a bit too greedy, goes for more, and Zyrax is gonna take revenge over his dead allies there at a distance. There's Cyrus with the kill, wishing that shotgun. Now Blur with a pistol, trying to go for more, trying to make it happen, trying to defend himself there. He now maybe getting some help from his allies. There's Blur with the kill onto Hearts, and that's gonna be now a 2v2.
Kaya Nation still not the bomb down just yet. They're gonna try go for it now. Audioku should be good here for Zyrax. Waiting for his teammate, though, before they make the move forward on the re-entry. Going to be the 1 lane. Zyrax also has a sniper rifle in the back pocket. Blur's going to catch Dix off guard. Tavasin dead to right. See you later, alligator, buddy. R9 to close out the round there. Status Quo with the retake.
It hurts. It hurts to be facing against this, too. Do you stay back and try to wait for the opponents and then find Blur with a sniper? Or do you get up close and get a shotgun right to the face by the hands of Zyrax?
Well, I'm not too sure if we just lost Gil, if he's still here or not. Not too sure either way. Status Quo here. 5-2 up in this search and destroy. Kaya Nation already lost first blood. John Snack down for the count. That's going to make things more difficult here for Kaya Nation. Rihan getting aggressive in towards Winery. He'll find one. You're happy with that if you're a Status Quo, though. You're slowly whittling away Kaya Nation. Gotta be careful not to over-aggress. That is what Zyrax is trying to do. You know what? Never mind Zyrax at this point. If you're feeling confident, if you're a Status Quo, why wouldn't you be? They're finding all of these kills. Yoju now the last one left to locate. 1 versus 4. It's going to be a big ask. He will find the first against Puedes. There's no immediate trade here. Whether or not he hits the full regen is a question for me, though, because he's already down. Yoju gets the snipe on towards Blur, but Ban will close things out again. Did not able to hit the regen. Status Quo find their 6th round. All right, Status Quo. 6-2 now. One more search and destroy round. They close this S&D out. They've given Kaya a couple. Surely no more aggression once again through the middle of the map. Zyrax picks up kill number 1. Kaya Nation have committed to a B kit. And now they've got problems on both sides of this hit to worry about. Blur is a big one on site to take Hards down. Kaya Nation, 3 versus 5. Tavazin going to find Zyrax, making this a little bit more manageable. Dick's also going to pick Rehan off. All of this around the flank has fallen apart for Status Quo, and on the other side, Tavazin's able to pick Blur off. So now it is just banned. 1 versus 3, brought down to a 1 versus 2. And if you're Dix and Yoju in this situation, you're shaking in your wellies. Because I would not want to be trying to face ban down in this situation.
Okay, 1v2, let's see Band. This does have the opportunity to get a sniper kill at a distance, but it's not going to be easy. Both Jojo and Dix are positioned quite effectively to pretty much just wait for him to push forward, which is exactly what he's doing. Band slowly but surely getting into a situation where he will face both of them near the same time. 20 seconds left. He's got to be moving. He's got to be running right here. Sniper in the hand. Gonna land 1. Gonna turn it around. Gonna look for 2. He's got to think about defusing. There's only 12 seconds left. He knows that he's just waiting for him to try to defuse. There's a double! And he's gonna go for the defusal. There's more than enough time. And he is gonna close it out 7-2. That's status quo. That's Band, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a 2-0 lead overall in favor of status quo. What an ending. That's exactly what they gotta be cautious of, because yes, it's a 1v2, but this is Band that we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a classic play, to be frank about it. You know, I think it's something that this high level of Call of Duty, you expect that to come through. Of course, Ban uses the audio cue of the bomb defusal to draw the last player out, and I mean, Ban's going to win that gunfight like 99% of the time, so I don't expect Ban to lose that like ever. Status Quo though coming out on top of that search and destroy, and I think Kaya Nation knew they were in the doo-doo as soon as they lost the first 4 rounds on defense, and they couldn't really figure anything out, right? I mean, it was just so problematic. They were losing all of their gunfights on site. They changed up the strategy ever so slightly, so they just full send it on the defense to win rounds, and that is enough to get a couple, but then they switch out. Of course, the onus is on Status Quo to make the first move. That is exactly what happened. 2-0 now in the series are Status Quo. Triple 10+ between Ban, Blur, and Zyrax. I mean, what can you do? That's the only question we've got to ask here.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? What do you do? Like, at a distance, you got a brutal sniper, like he can be both Blur, a Band, or even Rehan if you're put to the task. Then you got up close with Cyrax, up close against Puedes. It's just way too difficult. But like you mentioned, 10+ kills for those 3 players are more than enough. Triple digits if you think about it for Blur right there, 12-4. It was just immense power that they showed in this game. That, well, it's gonna be over just like that, 7-2. Just like that, Status Quo are trying to just go with the flow and finish this as quickly as they can.
Yep, 7-2 scoreline. Look, I'll be honest, I don't think we should be surprised at how dominant Status Quo are taking this series at this point. I mean, again, like, this is no disrespect to Kaya Nation, because Kaya Nation have proved to be a stellar squad so far in the Snapdragon Pro Series. Again, they were able to take on Truly, albeit it was a roster change, Truly, a last minute, and I know that Truly also kind of had issues in that series, but still, you've got to give Kaya Nation props to get to this point. And even if Kaya Nation do lose this series, it should be said, they still have a lower bracket. They still have an opportunity to get into the challenge finals by beating Horus Esports. It's such a tough ask to beat Status Quo. Again, we're not trying to be presumptive here. Status Quo could still get reverse swept in this series, but it is a huge ask to take down a roster of this caliber.
It's way too difficult to get into a situation where Status Quo seems to be bleeding enough to actually capitalize on that. You know, you may be able to hit a scratch over onto them to just surprise them in a way or another. We saw how they were surprised at how aggressive the side of Kaya Nation was on round, I think it was 3 or 4, that they all pushed in together as a whole, and they were like, wait, hold on for a second, I was not expecting this. They do take the round, but outside of that, they do make some adjustments, and just like that, we're back to square one, where Status Quo are doing Status Quo things.
All right, well, Kaya Nation hit on Seaside. This will be, I believe, our second Seaside of this challenge season. I want to say we saw one in EU Challenge Finals, and it didn't go well. Let's make that clear. So Status Quo, I think, on the kind of roster to make the best of the spawn traps available here on Seaside Control, and we're seeing that right off the rip. It's a full 5 wipe. Status Quo already want to get in that power position.
Alright, let's take a look into Blur. Protect kill number 2, immediately pushes for more, and that is going to be a situation that I gotta agree with you. I don't know why we were looking at Seaside, but I'm sure it's gonna be a bloodfest here, and probably will be in favor of Status Quo as we begin to glance onto Ben, who takes a double there at a distance, gets surprised by John with a double. John trying to hold this forward, but because at this point in time, with that triple kill for John, he prevents what could have been an atrocious spawn drop in favor of Status Quo, who just cannot stop pushing onto the enemy's territory.
I mean, to be honest, it's not like this situation's really any better, is it? It's a 9 life disadvantage now, built down to 8 off the back of that kill from Diggs. John Snack will find 1, so let's be fair to Kai Nation. There's an opportunity here to capture a B. Player pushed forward. They've got the right idea. Whether or not they can actually pick up the frags is a different story, though. The clock will stop at 30 seconds. Fuedas takes down Yoju. That was the advanced guard that really Kai Nation wanted to keep a hold of. And I was talking about that spawn trap. Rehan is now keeping these guys in the blender. Kaya in danger. Finally, Rehan will get shut down, but is the damage done? Kaya still 1 player over by B. iHeart hasn't been dealt with just yet. Puedas is on the hunt, as is Blur in this situation. They want to deal with him before making the move forward. And iHeart, I mean, he's given a real tough time to Status Quo right now. Finally will get shut down. Extends the clock a little bit, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That kill over there by Hearts is definitely going to open a bit of a space, a bit of a breathe room in favor of Kaya Nation, who continue on inside of the hill. And look at that, just like that, A is going to be taken. Only 1 more tick is needed on the side of B. And ladies and gentlemen, Status Quo may have just given enough room for the side of Kaya Nation to form a plan that seemingly, although it's not perfect, it is working.
This is crazy. Kai Nation not out of the situation just yet, but it is a tentative hold in this game, and they're already starting to lose the gunfights. They opt to try and get the wraparound through the spawn as opposed to backing up through the middle of the map, and they're going to get punished for it here. Just down to Dix and iHearts here in this situation. Puedas in behind enemy lines. There's 1. Dix for the second. All it takes is a drop shot from Puedas to make it happen. And the start of the round, incredibly damning to Kaya Nation. You lose that first wave of gunfights. You have nothing to say in the initial set of engagements. And Status Quo, I mean, they're going to run away with that all day long.
I mean, I gotta say that Kaya Nation are not playing Control. That was the only 5v5 game they had against Truly. We definitely got a glance onto what they can do on Control. They're not bad by any means, and in here they show that. For a second, there may have been a single drop of sweat on someone's faces on the side of Status Quo on that first round. As begin round number 2, there's gonna be Cyrus with the usage of the shotgun Blur at a distance, just patiently waiting with the War Machine, you know, just making sure that there's fear on the enemy's heart so that they do not get nowhere near that area. And just like that, just that quick, ladies and gentlemen, first objective has been taken by Status Quo with less than 10 kills. That was just how quick that was.
It's just a stark difference, isn't it, between these two teams right now. Status Quo also picking up the gunfights off the back of it. Look at those blue arrows now. Starting to encroach here on the spawn. This is not good if you're Kaya Nation. Operator investment coming up from Status Quo. They are bringing the hammer down. Equalizers beaming every single player coming to the spawns now. Annihilator from Puedas. What can they find? Kills also from Brad. Everything and the kitchen sink is coming out from Status Quo. Kaya Nation are getting spanged. Dadly fucking doodle. This is absolutely insane. Kaya Nation now down to the final 8 lives, mate. Status Quo at least not longer spawn trapping them.
Oh my goodness, true pandemonium on the side of Kaya Nation. They just cannot stop the power that Status Quo are bringing into the table. There's only 4 lives left. Make that 3. Then there's gonna be 2, and the objective is captured. That was just nuts. That was nuts. There's no other word to explain what just happened. That 1 second they had 24 lives, and all of a sudden they had less than 10. It was insane how quickly Status Quo took those kills, and I'm sure they're gonna definitely try to make that happen once more.
Alright, we're looking for the first wave of gunfights here. Investment coming out from Kai Nation. This is a heavy investment. It's the right call, right? Sparrow from iHeart to find one. Dix also with the Gravity Vortex gun. Tavas in with the Claw. Not really going to find all that much value, though. John Stack will have to get it done just with a couple of kills. And Status Quo's response is just to bring out all of the utility they had ready to go. Puedas with a couple of kills with a Predator missile kit. Status Quo, they will stabilize. But Status Quo here already having to deal with 2 ticks of aggression made over by A. Kai Nation have absolutely made the correct play call at the start of this. Just send everything at Status Quo you possibly have, and A is already yours. That is an incredible play call from Kaya.
My goodness, John, at one point or another, just folding them backwards. He's going to be the player with the most kills so far this game. That's going to be 17 for my boy John in there. Now looking for more. There's Hard. It's going to be executed by Cyrax. Cyrax now pushing with the shotgun. 12 kills for him. Fennec in hand. Let's see how much more they can do. Looking for a spawn trap situation, not gonna happen. The side of Kaya Nation being real smart about how they're playing in here. And I gotta say, not only John, but also Tabasin doing a great job so far this game. Can they actually commit to a round going their name? I definitely feel that there's hope for that to be the scenario, but let's see how Status Quo answers to that aggression from Kaya.
Kaya Nation, to be fair, they've been super competitive with Status Quo here in this round. It really is just part of the course for me, where throughout this series so far, they've had moments of competitiveness against Status Quo. Gotta give them props for that. Cyrax, though, now being pressured towards the spawn. Tabasin able to pick up a couple of kills here. Status Quo, can they defend this point? John Snack looking to be effective with the War Machine. Has to go to his regular weapon. If he took the War Machine pellet out that range, he would have gone down. He ends up losing the fight regardless. And on the other side now, Blur's got a War Machine of his own. That's 3 for Blur. Pre-firing now through as well. Second tick through for Kaya Nation. Gib will not give away the third. Now a 9v7.
Oh my god, it's 9-7, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody on the side of Status Quo are gonna be defending that area. They're using the Sparrow now by the hands of Cyrax, making sure no one can get close. The second they do, bam, to the face, bam, to the floor, bam, to the opponents. That's a triple in favor of Cyrax, who immediately pushes for more. He wants to end their lives now here with the shotgun. Gonna be surprised by the hands of Dix. John gonna be the same. Now Puedes gonna be using yet another operator. This time gonna be the Annihilator at distance. 6-1 with Annihilator goes for 2. No, Dix gonna say no to that. 5-1. Dix tried to make it happen. It's just not gonna be possible. And ladies and gentlemen, just as we kind of knew in a sense was going to happen, comes to an end. The status Quo are gonna take it home. And what else is there to say?
I don't know, dude. Honestly, if I'm Kai Nation, I'm not too upset about that one. I'm just like, yeah, just kick our feet up a little bit. Look, we lost against one of the best damn teams in North America. It shouldn't be a surprise that this has happened. At this point, just get yourselves to the pub for a nice drink afterwards, because Status Quo, I mean, they played so well that series. As I said at the end point of that control, though, I've got to give Kaya Nation some props, because in that control, we saw moments where they looked like they know what they were doing. They did get bullied at the start of round number 1, but you know what? They answered back. They were able to get 5 ticks of aggression by the end of the game. And Kaya Nation, towards the end as well, that round number 3 from them, it was great. Again, same kind of story where they look pretty good at moments on offenses. They just have to do that consistently. And to ask them to do it consistently against the roster like Status Quo, I think is just so difficult. So Status Quo, 3-0. The usual suspects turning up to play well. Blur, 21-5. Puedas at 21-12. The best players for the roster, but I don't think it really matters who gets those kills, because they were just bullying them.
Yeah, that's the problem. Some of the side of Kaya Nation just really bad numbers, but that's what happens when you're facing against the best of the best. I'm sure that is going to bring these players a great chunk of experience. Let's be honest, they did play quite a few moments where they showed what they're made of. They are definitely good players that are still trying to learn the effectiveness that we've seen from players who played for multiple years in a row, like the side of Status Quo. So yeah, what can you tell me about the end of the game, Glitter?
I think one thing that everybody needs to keep in mind too for Kaya Nation is the fact that they were a replacement team. So they were already kind of an underdog coming into this season. And the fact that they made it even this far in the competition, they were able to knock out other teams that we had expected to do a little bit better, like Truly. I know you had mentioned, Brody, that there was a little bit of a roster change there, but regardless, Kaya Nation still have managed to make it down to the very last match in the entire season. They still have one more opportunity. They'll be facing off against Oris Esports to try and claim another spot in the challenge finals. Meanwhile, status quo now sitting pretty. They've came here, done what they needed to do. They get to watch everybody else continue to battle it out to see who they'll be facing off against in those challenge finals. And I think at the end of the day, while this might have been the expected result, I do want to give props to Kaya Nation for even competing at the level that they did.
Definitely, absolutely. I mean, they definitely have to be given props. I know it's so difficult. You're going up against a roster like Status Quo, but I mentioned it, right? It's not just in that control. We have those search and destroy rounds when they made the adaptations. We had the start of the hard point where they were being relatively competitive with Status Quo. Like, you have to give Kai Nation some props of keeping themselves level at points with Status Quo. And I think when they play Horus, it will be a much more competitive, much more enjoyable match.
Yeah. Either way, one match now in the books. One team now in the finals. There's still 4 in total that have to make it. One more for today, and we showed you guys earlier on in the day what matchup that's going to be. We're now looking at the Nexus versus Tribe matchup, our Group B upper bracket final that will also determine one of our teams competing in challenge finals, and that one is going to be absolutely insane. 2 heavy hitters facing off against each other to close out our day here today for the challenge season. Before we get into all of it, though, we're going to send it to a short break, so get yourselves ready, get your snacks, grab some hydration, get ready to settle in for a really fun match to close out the day. We'll be right back.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
Looks like the players are ready. Here we go!
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series, where we are preparing to get into our second and final match of the day here in the challenge season for Call of Duty Mobile in NA. It will also be the second match that determines the next team who will be competing in the challenge finals between Nexus and Tribe. This is not going to be an easy matchup, definitely one that I think a lot of us have been looking forward to. So let's start talking about it a little bit here, Brady. We'll start off with Nexus. Tell me about them.
Alrighty, this Nexus roster, it's one of the other super teams here in North America, built from Season 4's Team Mayhem and Rejects, both of which had a stellar Season 4. And so far here in Group B, they've also had a pretty good time. Of course, you just got a little look at the bracket there. Last week, they won 3-0 over Hydra, but they had to come up with some clutch ups. We look back towards a Hackney Yard hardpoint where they had like that crazy ending of the game, managed to take a last-minute hardpoint away from the Hydra roster. This Nexus roster is insane, and you look at just the history of some of these players. As they get further and further into these tournaments, they are so damn good at the game. It's just such a scary team, but this is going to be their first real test of this season.
And then, Gil, on the flip side of this, we obviously have Tribe here, a name that everybody knows. Talk to me about this roster.
Absolutely. Well, of course, we know them, you love them. There's going to be Vague, Envy, T-Vac, Washi, Revalo, alongside with Marshy. I gotta say, Tribe, you know them, you love them, you hate them, but they are here to stay. They are a roster that, if you hear out there, you definitely have to pay some respect to. And well, at this point in time, as we all have anticipated for quite some time, has to face Nexus. We've seen who Nexus is. We know who Tribe is. So I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be just so interesting to see what we can get off of this, right? With Nexus going 3-0 last week, and the side of Tribe, if I'm not mistaken, also 3-0, if I'm not mistaken on that one there.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1, pardon me. So yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. We know how good all of these players are, so can't wait.
Well, we'll pull up the map, pick some bands as well, and we'll see what was able to sneak through. Was that standoff hard point that Tribe did lose to Hype Mobility. So we'll see if that gets through. It did get through, but Tribe picked it. So I don't know. Brody, talk to me about this. So starting off with the Hacienda hard point.
Yeah, Hacienda hardpoint is not that much of a surprise. I will say, we've had this conversation about these teams, right? There's only so much we can take away from past history because of how different these rosters are now comparatively to what they look like in Season 4. So we're really just looking at what we've seen from these teams early on in this season. I don't believe we've seen a Hacienda from either of these two teams. It wasn't in either Series versus Hydra nor Hype Mobility. But going back to that standoff conversation, it should be said that I don't think we should look too deep into Tribe losing that game, only because I think Hype Mobility then went on and played Hydra on that map and proved that they're just a really competent standoff hardpoint team. So it's kind of a 50-50 conversation there, right? I mean, how much of that was Hype Mobility playing well, Tribe just not having a great start of the series? Either way, it's here in this best of 5. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys look like on these maps.
Gil, give me your thoughts as well.
I mean, I feel like that brings a lot of scenarios where I feel like we have a high chance of going all the way, you know? I feel like these two teams know each other so well, in a sense they have studied each other so much. It's just so complicated to get everything going your way when it comes to the picks, when it comes to the bans. So I feel like we could potentially go to that 5th game, but Nexus have to make sure that I feel like they will have to constantly adapt to whatever Tribe maybe just having in the chamber for themselves.
Either way, it's going to be a really fun matchup here, and it definitely has the potential to go the full 5. It's about ready to go as well. So chat, everyone at home, let us know your thoughts. Who you think is going to be winning this one? Who will be the next team that makes their way through to the challenge finals? And don't forget, whoever does lose is not out of it yet. They'll drop down and have one more opportunity to still continue on competing in the competition. I'm excited. Let's just get into it. Match number 2. The final match of the day is ready to go. Brody, Gil, let's close it out.
Alrighty, this is the match we've been waiting for. Nexus taking on Tribe Gaming. Like, for the most part, these guys, they definitely had to work for it last weekend versus Hydra and Hype Mobility. Now, though, they are taking on each other, and these are two of the best teams as it currently stands in North America. Outside of scrims, we've not got the chance to see them go head-to-head. This is our first look at what two titanic North American teams are going to look like against one another.
That's the thing, right? They gotta bring in their biggest weapons out there. Of course, yes, they are on the winning side of the bracket. Yes, if they lose, they still have a second shot. But what best than to just take it all home today, right? Just to win your opponents and just breathe in, just sit on your chair and watch them be the ones that worry your opponents. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be pure fire. I definitely feel like we're gonna see a lot of sparks just clashing between these two monster of a team on both sides.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, you guys already mentioned it, right? You look at players from Seminole, Rejects, and Mayhem from last season going head-to-head. That means there's a lot of former teammates clashing in this lobby. I mean, there's kind of a lot of that going on across the seasons in the Snapdragon Pro Series. This roster's constantly changed. But looking back this season, we're looking at Teabag taking on Raph, Cartels, and Kings. We're looking at Raballo and Envy versus Jez and S-Thug. A lot of history between these two teams. Nexus versus Tribe. This is it. This is the powerhouse rosters going head-to-head, and we're kicking it all off on a Hassie and a Hardpoint.
Let's get right into the action, ladies and gentlemen. Nexus and Tribe Gaming about to bring in their best. We're going to start off this match with the side of Nexus controlling the middle ground of point number 1. We're going to see Cartels from the outskirts of it, just patiently waiting for someone to walk by so far. No one to be spotted now. He gets a call from his allies. They're pushing in. They're trying to get inside. They're going to say no to that. Nexus doing a great job at keeping things under control. Tribe Gaming just not able to get inside. Finally, Ravallo through the smoke gets that kill into S-Thug, and they break on the last 20 seconds of that hill. But just like that, Nexus are back at it again. Tribe definitely struggling to keep some control on this first kill.
It's early doors. It's not the end of the world for Tribe at the moment. Tribe looking already for the rotation towards Nu. Vega and Envy will combine for 3 there. So they should be good here for the moment. They'll also should at the very least be able to get the read towards offensive spawn coming through from Raph and Jez. Raballo's going to act on that information with a couple of kills, but Nexus still spawning close now. Split spawns coming through from Tribe. Big gunfights now going down over by Nu. Envy and Washi for Tribe winning the fight. Envy able to double up now, and Tribe will be fighting this one from the front. Nexus spawning up here towards the driveway side. Here we go once again. Envy going to open things up with that first kill. Washi following up with yet another one here. Tribe though can't get past Raph, who has the R9. This guy's absolutely dead with it. Ravallo will take him down. It is constantly back and forth here on the Lamborghini hardpoint. Predator missile now going to be invested from Envy here from Tribe. They want to make sure they take this hill away from Nexus.
Doing a great job there, Nexus, to trying to keep things under control. The Cartel gonna find one, gonna go for 2. Barely gets executed by S-Thug. He's gonna get a range frag immediately now from up above. There's gonna be the use of the Pred missile to keep even more control into the hands of Nexus. Now, you're gonna see on the minimap, people from Tribe are already beginning to rotate onto the next area, onto the next hill. They wanna get the initial control, but that's exactly what they did on here, the garage. That may be a problem if they are not close the patch well enough so that Nexus can't actually rip them apart. Tribe just bringing in a few small windows that Nexus make it look huge because of how well and how position they go through at the same time.
Yeah, right now Nexus hit 50 points to the good over Tribe Gaming. At this point in the game, that's where we're going to start to see some of this investment coming through. It's going to be a couple of operators, make it 3 coming out from Nexus. All of them go down almost immediately. And on the other side, Tribe Gaming are finding value with theirs. Envy able to double up there with the claw off screen. Jez up top, trying to hold on towards this hill for Nexus. He was the last remaining player and does get shut down. So now Tribe got to deal with the pressure coming from Fence's side. King's going to be the first player through here. Has a little bit of help from S-Thug. Raph, what can he do? Absolutely nothing. Washi will double up with the Annihilator. Vague also finds a couple of kills here for Tribe. They were 50 points down in this game. They are desperately trying to fight back off Fences and close the lead.
That was a great point there for Tribe, but there's still a few seconds left. They're trying to fight it off. There's Washi inside alongside. There's also King through the smoke trying to get that kill and gets it. 5 or 6 or so extra seconds in favor of Nexus. That will get them quite close to the 100 mark as they are all rotating onto the next area. You're going to see that Nexus are making sure that Tribe just cannot safely be rotating in here. There's going to be Raph using the equalizers to get inside. Going to be going for that kill. kill, takes it on to Wash. He turns around, goes for more. Has to be cautious, but a lot of people are going to push at the same time. There's going to be Tribe taking that kill. No, Raph still alive, takes the kill onto T-Bag. And just like that, Nexus take extra 15 seconds. Tribe are sweating in this game.
Tribe really unfortunately not able to get through now. Gonna have to deal with a flanking player come through from Jez, who I think now with the Claw is trying to get these guys at range. Raph now up close and personal with the Ino. What can he get done with it? Looking for the kill against T-Bag, will find it, but I think Vega's just too much to ask for in that situation. He will shut him down. Now Claw from Jez, we were talking about it. Fortunately, will not result in all that much damage. He only finds one kill. Kings instead now going to have to get towards this hard point as Nexus look at contest for the back 15 seconds here. Raballo will double up. Raph here through with the R9, finds a double. Can he make it a triple? Yes, he can. Raph for 3. Nexus now looking for the scrap time, but even they will not be able to get it despite that 3-piece from Raph. But either way here, I think you're content with how this game's gone, and even more so as Jez finds 3 at 100 to 717 to 52 point gain here for Nexus. They have blown it wide open after the first set.
On fire, the side of Nexus. Everybody with the multi-kills is just insane. The way they are collectively playing on the side of Nexus. Tribe gotta do something, and they gotta do it right now, because this game can get off their hands even more so than it already is. In here, you're gonna see Jez getting his 20th kill now, turning around, just waiting for someone else to walk by. Unfortunately enough, he gets surprised. Finally, Tribe are gonna get some control. Raph trying to surprise them there with the shotgun. Not gonna be possible. Kings here does have the opportunity to use that Annihilator, but opts not to just yet. Big with a double will clear things up. Tribe, they know that they were behind. They know that they were going outgunned nearly every single time that it mattered the most, and finally grabbed a chunk of control that will allow them to have a second breath on a game that they so desperately needed.
Yeah, even so, Tribe have not been able to close the deficit here in this game. They need to hold this hard point. You know where the pressure is coming from. Do you register a couple of players down low is the question for me. I don't think Envy was aware of the fact that Cartels have pushed that deep through. A bit of miscommunication coming out from Tribe. Now you need to get these kills. Investment from Vague only equates to 1 kill. Esfog on the other side instead is going to find a couple of kills with the Sparrow. And now you're seeing more investment from Nexus as well. The War Machine. Kings with the Annihilator here for the flanking play. Wants to flip the spawns in Nexus's favor. Tribe, though, are slowly but surely closing that gap. We were talking about it. Yes, the spawns might have flipped, but Tribe still hold control of this hard point.
My goodness, Tribe. It's not been easy, but they are sort of trying to close it. They still have a few extra operators to try to use. Jez is going to open up that door with a double. Now Raph holding in with the usage of the equalizer. That's going to be even more pain brought into the hearts of Tribe Gaming, who were so close and are yet so far of closing now a 50-point deficit. They had less than 30, and all of a sudden Nexus with another quick turn of events and I get the control. 163-101 in favor of Tribe. Right now they're struggling. They are trying to make it happen, but it seems like Nexus are doing a tremendous job at constantly changing the pace of what's going on. And
you say that, but Tribe Gaming, they've got control offenses as it currently stands. They're winning all the gunfights as well here, girl. Tribe in control. 3-piece there from Washi, followed up with another 2-piece from a teammate. Tribe now looking to get things back in their favor off the back of this hard point. Washi could get it done with the Annihilator up top. He's going to find 1 kill. And now all the pressure coming from that fences, from that wall side. How ready are Tribe for this one? Smoke will provide a bit of coverage here for the contest from Nexus. Now Raph and Jez starting to find kills. Cartel's also spamming that War Machine down range. It's all looking good if you're Nexus here to try and take this time away from Tribe. But close spawns for Tribe mean they'll continue to give this look after look. Cartels will find a little bit more value with the War Machine. It's not enough to take all of this time away from Tribe. And even this last 10 seconds here, if you're Nexus, is valuable time. It reinstates a 50-point advantage over Tribe as we go in towards new.
that's the thing. The second that Tribe reaches or gets close to that 30-point deficit, Nexus once again goes back up. And in here, they're going to be there early yet again on the side of Tribe. They got to make sure they hold it off. There's going to be Raph trying to get inside with a shotgun. Not going to be possible. Great defense there by the hands of T-Bag using that Fennec. Now, Cartels trying to get through. Gonna go for that kill. Rival gonna say no to that, using that AR right to the face once again. Rob with the shotgun. Gonna get one, gonna get two. Everybody out that door as Nexus is here for a party. Now that's a triple and a quadra for Raffles. Goes for the fifth one, runs out of ball, and finally they're able to take him off. But my goodness, how much damage can a single player cause into the hands of Tribe? Nexus just has so many players doing so much. So difficult for Tribe to get back up.
Yeah, Raph is just one of those players, right? He's basically a horror icon, I think, here in COD Mobile. Put him up there with Freddy Krueger and Ghostface. Terrifying when he's running at you with an R9. 4 kills in a row for him is going to give Nexus a lot of control over this hardpoint. It might be a play we look back to because this hardpoint advantage that Nexus have built up just refuses to go away. Again, 65 points the difference between these two teams as we go towards the next hardpoint, the final set here. Tribe Gaming need to try and take control of this top side. It's something they've not been able to do so far here on P1. Washi, can he get anything done up top? No, not when Cartels comes out with 3 just like that. Will not be able to convert for number 4. But once again, Tribe not able to get control of those top hallways just yet. And for that reason, even control over P1 is unsafe.
Oh my goodness, the setup Nexus trying to fold them backwards, trying to get that final gap, that final lead that they need. Less than 31 seconds to get that victory in their hands. Hashtag inside of point number 1. Let's see how many more they can get. No, Tribe quickly. They get it inside. They're trying to fight back. They're trying to somehow turn the round of events in here. Ruff again with that shotgun, trying to snipe with it at this point. Why not, Ruff? Why not try to snipe with that shotgun? Get that kill like it's nothing. There's only 7 seconds left, but that's just so sweet into the taste buds of Nexus. Everybody is now thinking about the next kill, but those extra seconds will lead to 38 for Nexus.
Nexus just 12 points away from victory. Tribe will be the first team to touch over by New. It has to be perfect. You can't afford to let Nexus really in once whatsoever. That's a good start from Raballo. Finds 3 through the middle of the map here. Nexus, though, should get spawns around the back line. Or perhaps they'll actually spawn towards Rock. That's down to the anchoring here of a player around the back. Now Kings, though, with the Annihilator. Has to try and get these kills through the smoke. We'll already find a double. Now looking for more. Couple of operators out here for Nexus. What can they get done? Now we're seeing Tribe Gaming hold on. Jez will double up with the claw. Is that good enough now? Nexus knocking at the door. S-Thug able to use a double kill. Nexus finding all the kills. Raph with the R9. That might be it here for this game. Tribe bullied out of the hard point. Raph keeping an eye on the stairwell here. Nexus just need a few seconds more. Tribe, can anybody from the roster touch in time? Kings will find Fag. 1 more second and Nexus take the first map in this momentous matchup.
Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. That's exactly the COD Mobile action we were so desperately in need of. Nexus gonna take it home, but Tribe fought till the very end. But I gotta say, I love the way that Nexus was playing. They were really playing it smart, constantly making sure that Tribe, when they thought that they could close that gap, actually tie it up and eventually get their own lead, that's when they pushed the gas the most. It was incredible to see. I definitely loved the map number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, that was only map number 1. What are we to expect from the rest?
I don't know, dude. We'll talk about that in just a second when we actually want to talk about the map number 2. For now, though, we should be talking about map number 1 here. And what an insane map it was from Nexus. That lead started to grow early on, right? We got to the end of the first set, and Nexus already had a 50-point lead. Tribe, they had moments, I think, looking over towards defense's hard point on both sets of rotations, where it felt like, hey, they're being competitive with Nexus. They're trying to keep close. We had this moment, right, where Washi got, I think it was 3 kills in a row, and I think it was Raballo that followed up with a couple of kills more. And it felt like at that point, maybe Tribe can come back through the game, but this was the moment where it all went awry. I think for Tribe, they were 40 points down already. I think it was Raph that got 4 kills in a row with the R9. Absolutely terrifying. And Nexus from that point on, I think the lead became insurmountable. Solid break towards the end of the game as well from Nexus as they take map number 1. Let's take a look at the final scoreline at the end of the game. Jez is going to be the top fragger here for Nexus at 41 kills to his name, but shout out to S-Thug. I want to give him some love here. Almost 3 minutes inside the kill. He might not go positive, but he is the player that's locking it down for Nexus.
And I mean, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. You're talking about, what, 160 or so points that he alone was trying, I mean, not much trying, but actually given to his team. 160 off of 250. It was just insane how long Estog managed to last inside of those kills. Then again, 41 kills. What is there to say? 41 kills against none other than Tribe. It was just great to see how many sparks were shining all over the place. It was a true monster of a map number 1. I loved every single second of it. Oh my god, I literally got chills more than one time on that game. It was just great. I gotta mention, the only thing that I could question on the side of Tribe is how often we saw double, triple, even multiple quadra kills going in favor of Nexus, and I feel like definitely stung them in more than a couple of times.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think that's necessarily a question in Tribe thing, right? I mean, there's not really much you can do when you're just getting outgunned. There's not really much you can do when you're facing down Rafa Banana 9 4-piecing you like he was. That is just tough. Although that being said, I think it is kind of surprising, I will say, that a roster like Tribe was not able to outslay them in that matchup. Nexus come out on top, though, of map number 1. So we get our first look at hardpoint between these two teams. Now it's time to go back to a COD Mobile Classic for the Search and Destroy. It's firing range S&D between Tribe Gaming and Nexus. And I'm curious, we always talk about kind of momentum as we get into Search and Destroys from the hard point. I wonder how aggressive Nexus are going to be, and there is our answer, barreling towards A. First blood here. Washi has a lot to do on site. Can he escape? T-Bag might not be able to let him do so. Envy for a couple of kills. T-Bag also with a couple, and Envy for 3 in a row towards the end of that round. Envy with a sniper rifle is utterly insane.
Guys, oh my god, everybody at home, please don't blink, because another 22 round may have happened in front of you without even realizing it. 22 seconds and we already got a 1-0 lead. Triple there for Envy. As we begin round number 2, we're gonna see Esta with the first. His allied Cartels with the next one. Rivalo did manage to answer before getting executed by Cartels. 2-for-1 trade going in favor of Nexus this time around. Washi gonna suffer a lot of damage. He's gotta back out. On the offensive side, Nexus doing a great job to get in. Gonna be planting that bomb. 45 seconds on the clock. They gonna throw a nade. Not gonna land onto... Oh my god! It does land onto Estog. He plants the bomb, gets executed, yes, with a range frag in that scenario. But there's now 30 seconds on the clock.
Nexus did what they wanted to at the start of this round. They get that bomb down. Re-entry onto the site, though. It's gonna be easy when Vague's got the R9 in his hand. Brings this down from a 1 versus 3 into a 1 versus 1. Time on the clock for the defuse as well. He's not going to know where Kings is approaching the site from now. He most certainly will, as Kings will take some shots, but too little too late here. Vague makes the wraparound through the middle of the map. He's not ready for this one. He's not going to have enough time for the defuse regardless, and Kings will clutch up that round here.
That's right. Great kill there for Kings to even numbers out. We got 1-for-1. Great job down there to bounce back up. You know, after such a quick round, there's not a lot that we could have said about round number 1, but round number 2 was quite interesting. How the side of Nexus are quite aggressive onto this A side, and they're gonna be doing that once more. 2 kills in there. Rough gonna pay the price in the meantime. At a distance, there's the usage of Washi's sniper to get that first blood. Goes for the second and takes it onto Yes. Connects like it's nothing. Washi, he just loves that sniper play through the wall. Not gonna land onto anybody just yet. This have tried gaming this time. Do stop that push onto the A side. And another nade kill this time in favor of Washi. That's gonna be bringing numbers now in favor of the Tribe Gaming roster. 3 versus 2. Only Kings and Estog remain. Gonna be going through jungle. There's gonna be the opportunity for Kings, but 2-for-1. Not a lot that he could have done. They were both locked into him, and there's the kill there for Washi. 4 kills now total for Washi. 3 alone on that round. 2-for-1 in favor of Tribe.
Big round coming out from Tribe there. Rounds in the defense. Like gold dust here on Fire and Range Search and Destroy. Able to overwhelm Nexus. Were Tribe in that round now. Next round for Nexus. Where do they go? And to slow up pretty significantly here in this situation. I think both rosters will slow things up. Just trying to get a feel for one another. Sending utility over the top to see if they can get any early frags for free. Jez will be the entry player for Nexus in this situation. Gets the sniff out towards T-Bag, but does not walk away with a frag. You know that somebody's going to be in America, and you need to take that player down ideally before getting this bomb.
Yeah, bomb is down. All right, 45 seconds on the clock. Washi through the wall gets killed by Kings. Great kill there. Taking so much value now. Raf with a knock onto Envy. 4v3. Babe with the revenge strike onto Raf. Going for more. T-Back take the kill onto Estak. Turns around. Turning the pace of events now, going in favor of Tribe. They're looking for more. 3 of them onto the trailer, pushing at once as a whole, as a unity. They're gonna be trying to defuse while the others are trying to defend. Oh my god, they lose some sort of control. Vague there gets one, goes for the second with the pistol. What even is going on? King just dancing around, just some sort of Tom and Jerry sort of situation. Running, I don't think there is. I don't think there is. He doesn't know where the bomb is at. Where is it? Vague, look for it. Surprise, surprise, is gonna explode. Oh my goodness, he had no idea where the bomb was at. I think there's a slight chance that maybe there was enough time if he knew the bomb was on that corner.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I don't even know about that. I think the big thing for me in that round is the way in which the sniper players for Nexus played that situation. In a 2 versus 3, they retreated all the way towards the bathroom side to ensure that they could hold the bomb from there. Brilliantly played from Kings and Jez on Nexus. It gives them the round as they're able to play time against Tribe. Now, in towards this round, Kings already drawing up first blood for Nexus, looking for more. Envy's going to trade things out for a 4 versus 4. Nexus with the bomb, though. Now looking to defend it. They've got the numbers.
They do. 4v3. Only Envy, Vague, and Raval remain. Washi this time around not going to have that much value as he did in past rounds. Less than 30 seconds left. Estag in a great spot to just wait and bounce, pop someone's head. Let's see if he can do it. Finds the first. Oh, executed by that shotgun kill by Raf's double. Raf looking for the triple. Raf, do it. Please do it. Yes, Raf. Yes. Oh my god, this player. Oh, the side of Tribe are gonna have nightmares with Raf's R9 yet again doing it, making it happen. I'm not sure. But was that like a collateral with the shotgun? I'm not 100% positive, but Raf, he's just crazy with it.
Analysis about Raf with the R9. What do you want me to say, man? I mean, it's just Raf doing Raf things at this point. This guy's insane. One of the best damn R9 players in the world. Towards the next round we go, though. Final offensive effort here for Nexus. They did try and favor a B off the start. They'll be happy with a 1-for-1 trade, but Tribe now, off the back of that, know that they can move towards a scot-free. Surely they're going to check for T-Bag in this situation. Surely they'll check for T-Bag. Yes, they will. Cartels will draw that blood. Washi will trade things out, though. So now the 3 versus 3. Question for me in this situation. Do Nexus go for the bomb plant knowing that they don't have control of American just yet? As Raf takes down Raballo, the answer is yes. And it's that exact same bomb plant once again. Will it throw off Tribe this time?
I mean, at this point in time, at least they should know where the bomb is at. So that's something in it for them. 3v2, a lot of damage is going to be taken there by Estog. There's going to be a push. None other than Raf takes that kill, gets executed by Envy. Envy looking for the double. Estog going to say, no, just go to bed. Let's take this round. Let's close this first half with a banger. That's a 4-2 lead. Nexus are just doing so good on these past 2 rounds specifically. And it's interesting to see that it's either by getting the kills or straight up just confusing the opponent, just making sure that they lose enough time to take that one home. They're gonna be switching sides. Will that be enough for Tribe, who are in a bit of a pickle here?
Nexus 4-2 up at the half. Tribe now on the offense, want to be aggressive, but really want to set the pace as we get into their offensive efforts. They're going to do exactly that with overwhelming strength. Nexus bullied away from 8. And now Tribe Gaming. Numbers very much in their favor. Left up to Kings and Estug to make a 2 versus 5 work. Estug, shots through the wall. Will connect for, well, hit markers, but not actually anything relevant. No kills. We need to see a sniper and masterclass out of Kings on the re-entry towards this site, and he's got so many different angles to check here in the situation. Does catch Washi for free. Surely not Raballo as well. Kings will double up with a quick scope. 15 seconds now. Now a 2 versus 3 here for Nexus. Kings has jumped straight on the defuse. Gonna force Tribe out, and from long, Envy will take Kings off the defuse. Second player also down for the count. Nexus almost make that 2 versus 5 happen.
Oh my goodness, surprisingly closer than one may have anticipated, but okay, that's gonna be a point. Tribe, as we flip spawns, take the first round. Let's see if they can continue with it so far. Vague with 9 kills. I'm looking at you. Washi with 7 through the smoke. Not gonna find anyone just yet. This time, not as aggressive to try to go for a potential bomb plan. We took a glance there onto who I think was Raph there, who no longer is the shotgun. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of the short distance now. I'm gonna go through the walls there with that light machine gun. So far, nothing gonna happen besides that sort of a hit onto Jess using that nade. Still not gonna be enough, and 40 seconds have passed by.
Yeah, you really wanted to kill with the back of that nade.
Oh my god, no!
Got cut short by Envy, though, over the top. Big kill for Envy. Raph down. Now Tribe Gaming. Is that enough to make some kind of move on A? They're still trying to feel things out somewhat, and I think it's still gonna be. So now if you're Jez, just sat outside the trailer. You've got so much to do here on the defense of this site. First shot is not going to hit anything. T-Bag, Raballo, and Vague, they're all overwhelming. The former of the 3 players is going to pick Jez up. Now you're looking at overwhelm Cartels inside that trailer. Cartels will double up. S-Thug finds Washi. And all of a sudden, the situation flips in definite favor of Nexus. Raballo might trade things out for a 2 versus 2, but still, this is dangerous. Envy now going to go down. Raballo, 1 versus 2. At the very least, you've picked up the bomb. And these players are isolated, but you've only got 25 seconds.
Yeah, that's the main problem. He does have the bomb, but does he have the opening to actually plant it? 20 seconds left. At a distance, there's Kings with that light machine gun and a sniper in the pocket. Raballo trying to fake something, but yeah, not a whole lot you can do. You're alone. They know where you're at. If you try to plan, you're exposed. If you don't plan, the time is over. It is what it is. They tried, but it's going to be another round going in favor of Nexus, ladies and gentlemen. A 2-round lead going in favor of Nexus. Once again, showing that they can put Tribe against the wall in this game of Search and Destroy.
Already seeing aggression coming out from Nexus. Raph is going to win the R9 battle. Vague might well have found one, but no more than that. He's been silenced here in this round. And now look at this. Quick response from Tribe Gaming. They don't have the numbers. They recognize the best thing they can do in this scenario is just fire their way over towards A. That's exactly what they're going to do. So bomb will go down. And I got a feeling that if you're Washi in this situation down long range, you're going to have a lot to do.
4 seconds. Can they defend though? Ooh, great kill there onto Raph. That's a huge player to get rid of in this round. But just still being scary as he is. At a distance, takes that kill. Cartels bites the dust. 2 for 2. Let's see what they can do. Pushing through trailer. There's gonna be Jess trying to go forward. Kings backing him out. 15 seconds left. Jess trying to make something happen here with a pistol. They're gonna make it right now. They go for the kill. Takes 1. Has to go for 2. Only 8 seconds left. Has to get there. Kings gets a hit marker in because of it. He's gonna lose that round. T-Bag just dancing around eventually is enough with the dancing. Goes for that kill, but there wasn't even enough time to defuse. That's a point for Tribe. And a bit of a slap back. You know, they lost 1 round on the side of Tribe with a similar scenario. That's a pay.
Alrighty, well, Tribe win a round. Big dub for them to be able to defend the site in the way that they did. First blood for Kings here for Nexus. That's T-Bag out of the round. They still aren't phased by it, though. Still looking to take control of B. How much more can Kings find? Valley towards the backline. Also has S-Thug inside the site, looking to use the obscuration of the smoke to get the bomb down. Tribe now with the numbers here. Trades in their favor. Now down to a 2 versus 2. Big 1v1 on site. Raballo going to win it versus Jez. Worth saying, though, these players are split up. Washi going to get cut down. Now a 1 versus 1. Raballo's idea here. Get the bomb down. Get the hell out of Dodge. But does Raph see him on the exit? The snipe's going to whiff.
Aye, that 1v1 was nasty. Let's see now. Raph, can you do it? 1v1, just said it. 30 seconds left. Raph with the shotgun. Gonna connect both. But still alive. Tries for the kill. Raballo. Like, it hurts to see it, but in a way, he's like, you know what? You sort of deserve that, because come on now, man. Raballo, that should have been yours. But once again, man, the legend.
Hold on here. Raballo just runs straight out into the open against Raph with the R9. That is a heck of a challenge from Raballo. That is an ego check if I've ever seen one. You're not winning that fight, like, ever. Not against Raph. Had a coverage right next to him as well. I'm kind of surprised that he just jumped out. Am I going mad here? That is insane. Raf to win that 1 versus 1. Just absolutely crazy. Nexus now on map point here.
No, absolutely. It was completely unnecessary. I mean, Ravallo has not had the best game so far, you know, so far 6 kills. And I'm sorry, Ravallo takes a double through the smoke, even with a nade. Now there's the sniper shot for Jess as they try to bounce that back. All of a sudden, Tribe once again has the advantage. But as I was saying, Tribe just continues to be sort of bullying the last 2 players, just making them run for their lives. They managed to survive though, which could be a trouble eventually. 3v2, as the side of Tribe will plant that bomb and once again try the clutch round. That could be the last if they're not careful enough, might as well say.
Gotta be careful about play for the middle of the map. T-Bag, I think, has spotted an opportunity here to strike one of these players, taking a little bit too long to get back in. Jez is going to cover his teammate's rear though. Makes this manageable. Washi trades things out. Now down to Jez. Already done a bit of value in this round with that coverage. Not going to be able to find that second against Envy. Nexus not finding the map point just yet. Tribe 1 round away from forcing OT.
That's right. Do we see some overtime? That'd be great, I gotta be honest with you all. I would love for us to go there, but I'm sure Nexus, that's not what they're looking for. Let's see if they can close it up. So far, 10 seconds. Plenty of nades in the air. Not gonna end anyone's life, at least so far. Raf, once again, coming back to that R9. He was like, you know what? It's been working before. Can work again. He hears that they're planting. Vague, just patiently waiting for someone to get out of trailer. Jez with a great spot. Gonna miss 1. Gonna for 2. Everybody pushing at once. Vague with the first. Turns around. Raf with the first. Raf distracts the opponent. Says that with the double. That could be the double for Raf. And it is Washi on his own. 1v2. Jez took a lot of damage, but managed to survive in that fight. All of a sudden, only Washi remains. 22 seconds at a distance. He could try to pick up 1. Has to be careful. He tries to hide on that bomb. I don't like that spot whatsoever. Raf has to be the one. He's the chosen one for this map. Infinity. I'm telling you, man. They will defuse that bomb. 15 kills for Raf. And that's a victory going in favor of Nexus. Ladies and gentlemen, Nexus have done it again. Tribe sweating all game long. I don't know what to tell you, because it feels like the closest Tribe gets to that scoreboard onto Nexus, the more it hurts when they just don't manage to do so.
Honestly, I think that search and destroy split the difference between the 2 teams is really difficult. I think both rosters kind of knew for the most part what they were doing. And really, they just come down to individual retakes on the sites, individual plays. There was one I do want to get back to. I want to watch it again. It's the 1v1 between Ravallo and Raf is the one I want to see again. I'm sure it'll be in the package here, because Raf might well have won an insane 1 versus 1, but I want to see the ridiculous shout from Ravallo again. Small plays like that really did split the difference between these 2 teams. Fundamentally speaking, we wanted to look at what the search and destroy would look like between Tribe and Nexus, and for the most part, I'm pretty impressed with both of the rosters. When it comes down to these clutch situations though, Nexus able to get the better of Tribe over and over again. And there is that challenge I was talking about. I don't want to put too much emphasis onto it. Ultimately, it is just 1 round of play. It might have made the difference in the end, but still, Ravallo left cover to chow Raf with the R9. Raf's gonna win that gunfight like 99% of the time. That is an insane chow. I love it. I love the confidence from Ravallo, but you're not winning that gunfight, buddy. Nexus 2-0 up in this series now after the back of that search and destroy.
It was great though. It was great to see it happen as a whole. The way that Nexus have been playing has not been flawless. Let's be honest. There's been some flaws here and there, but in reality, it's been great to see them all playing, just collectively pushing, backing out, collectively diffusing or distracting, whatever may be they're doing. They are making sure that it has an impact. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, I'm a bit worried for Tribe, you know. I'm slightly worried about them. I said at the beginning, actually before we began with the maps, that I thought we could even go all the way. I was not expecting a 2-0 in favor of Nexus, but they have definitely earned this situation that they're in.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to say I'd be worried about Tribe in this situation, right? Because what we've seen so far is a relatively close hardpoint. We've seen a relatively close search and destroy. It almost went to overtime. So I think Tribe are playing competitively with Nexus in this situation. It's just the tiniest of differences. I think that Tribe are able, or Nexus are able to clutch up over Tribe. And of course, it does help that at the moment they are simply just outgunning them. So I'm not concerned about Tribe yet. You look at the veteranship of the players on this roster, and there's always a chance for them to come back in this best of 5. But they do have to do that now. They have to pull off a reverse sweep, and I believe Raid Control is going to be the next map in this best of 5. This is a map these guys have played for the longest of times. If they don't know how to play Raid, well, then I'll be worried.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. We'll have to wait then as we began this third map. You called it. We are moving on to some good old action on the beautiful hills of California. We're moving on to Raid here as Raf will bounce inside of the hill and even push for more. He's going to be the player to try to cause some disturbance on the enemy spawn. Let's see if he can do so. Causing a lot of pain from the inside, the side of Nexus. Start great by taking the first take off of Bravo, but the immediate response there by the hands of Tribe.
Nexus here, already one tick over by B at the start of this round. They're now going to have to change tact somewhat by moving over towards A. Jez Kings and Raffle combined for 3 here. This is a solid push. It's a clean one at that for Nexus, and I love that they're not resting on their laurels as well. They're trying to already get map positioning, pushing through towards the basketball courts, pushing through towards kitchen side to get map control. Tribe Gaming forced in towards basketball. They will take S-Thug down. I think now if you're a Raf, you might want to come and help out your teammates over by A because you need an extra body on the point to win the gunfights. And as I say it, Raf does exactly that. Takes Envy down. Jez and Cartels also win some fights here. Nexus might not have demanding control of lives, but they do have control of the map here. They're on towards the point.
And that's exactly what they need. Right now, Beg is trying to knock him out, takes the first, backs out, tries to change his positioning, tries to confuse whoever may be inside, but that's not 1, that's not 2, that's 3 players that he had to go against, and that was not the good end of the story for him as they all collectively push towards towards Alpha. That is going to be taken by Nexus. Great job done. Now the side of Tribe will try to figure something out because they have to at this point with the aggression. Oh my god, Beg with the boxing gloves will take that kill onto Raf. Nexus, Tribe, 16 each. And I mean, I gotta say that it continues to be close, but somehow Nexus manages to be slightly above when it matters the most. So Tribe, I want to see them have a slight edge that they can actually try to capitalize on.
It should be said, Tribe right now do have a life advantage over Nexus, so they've got that to work with. Of course, they are also on the defense here, so Nexus need to be the team that move forward. If anybody blows this play wide open, it would be Jez on the flank, who does get cut short by Washi. T-Bag also going to find some value towards the side of Art. Tribe are winning the gunfights. Nexus need to do this as a team. They need to hit this at the right time. Vague, unfortunately, gets cut short. I don't think he was quite ready for the gunfights inside Zig. He's going to get cut down. Jez will also find a second as well. Nexus, now's the time to invest. You see Cartels momentarily bringing the War Machine out. It doesn't really equate for anything. Washi and T-Bag will find those gunfights. And on the other side, I think Raballo calls for the War Machine to come out to play. Tribe want to win this round. Nexus now down to the final 5 lives, and they've just fallen away with gunfights. Now Nexus on the point. First tick going to be through. Clock stopped at 30 seconds here. They've got to be perfect, but Tribe aren't exactly in a favorable position either. Smoke gonna be down. Now the snipes, Vague and T-Bag also following up, and what looked promising for Nexus on the push. They might have got the second tick through. All falls down to Cartels for a 1v6. He can only find 1 kill, and Nexus will not win that round.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but Tribe takes the forward position as they close around, not only by winning it, but also saving 3 operators. That is going to be huge as we begin round number 2. And that's exactly what we'll see. There's going to be 2 pop rather than 3. In fact, they want to immediately take the objective. Let's see if that works out. Bay is going to be executed. They're going to be losing 1 there. Washi with the Annihilator going to take the knock onto Rav. There's going to be the claw then by the hands of Washi.
Oh, wow.
MB, pardon me, who takes the double. And I want to say that it worked out, but in a way, yes, they got kills, not as much of an objective, but at least they get a kill gap that could have a huge impact as they continue to push, as they are trying to cause a true spawn trap and already have over a 10 kill game over there, Grady.
Yeah, it's not just about the kills, though. It's about the map control as well. And they've already got a lot of progression over by B. While all this action has gone down over by A, you've got Washi. He was just basically idyllically chilling over by B. That third and final tick of progression will be about to come through here. So an extra 60 seconds on the board now for Nexus. They've got a wealth of time, or Tribe, excuse me. They've got a wealth of time to get the 2 remaining ticks on A or push what is a 13 life advantage. This is utterly insane. All off the back of that initial investment coming out from Tribe. Nexus teetering on a knife's edge here in this game. Tribe Gaming now trying to make their way forward, now trying to press the offensive here. Vague will find a double. He will get cut down by Kings, but it's not for long. Kings gets traded right back by NB. Nexus down to the final 7 lives.
It's probably going to be the end of the round. Only 5 lives left. No more spawns on the side of Nexus, and there's 21 in favor of Tribe Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, not a whole lot they can do on the side of Nexus besides trying to make them feel uncomfortable. Only Cartels remain versus 20 monsters in front of it, and it's going to be Envy, the one to close it up. 2-0 lead in favor of Tribe Gaming. You said it. I should not be worried about Tribe. You were absolutely right. 2 rounds in a row. Yes, there's going to be the potential opportunity for the operators on the side of Nexus, but I can say the same thing about Tribe with the operators alongside with the usage of these cores. Which double kill there for Revalo using the War Machine, immediately pushing 4 more. Revalo trying to make up for past mistakes as he continues to push onto enemy's territory.
This is an insane back-to-back round here from Tribe Gaming. They start the last round with 3 operators. They start this round with 3 operators as well. If that doesn't tell you how dominant those rounds have been for Tribe Gaming, I don't know what will. And immediately here, they're really starting to push the issue. A 7 life differential between these 2 teams, and it continues to grow. At the very least, they don't have to worry about the Zim spawn trap just yet. But still, Nexus not in a good spot yet here in this control. And as far as a way back into this control, as far as where back into this round is concerned, you've got to start using these operators now, because this life differential starting to become unmanageable. Washi wants to push it even further as well. That's a double from Kim. Faye going to bring the equalizers out. It doesn't last that long, but I mean, look at the damage they've done. 25 seconds on the clock now here. Guild Tribe look to 3-0.
Try to do it, and they might as well do. 20 seconds left. The side of Nexus are going to begin to sweat. They try to use the operators, but immediately get shut down. Only 11 lives left. Only 11 seconds left. Not a whole lot they can do. Roth tries to take that kill, and he does. Still not going to be enough. The time is ticking. Less than 5 seconds left. Roth, you got to get inside. Can you do it, buddy? Yes, he does, but there's Revalo to defend him out. Revalo with the kill with the double. Only 1 second left, and there it is. A huge victory going in favor of Tribe Gaming. A weight and that I was not expecting at all. But you said it yourself, Infinity, we just cannot sleep on Tribe Gaming. Because if you do, you're gonna suffer. And they sure did.
I mean, it's just one of those things, right, where I just don't think we've seen enough from either of these rosters at this point in the season. This is the very first time we've seen them tested really at all at this level of the competition. Of course, that's kind of the nature of the GSL star brackets that we've got this season of the Snapdragon Pro Series. And for that reason, even though Nexus are 2-0 up coming into this control, Tribe, they kind of look like they're being outclassed in search and destroy and hardpoint. You can never quite count them out, and they showed exactly why here. It should be said, round number 1, that was a competitive round from both of the rosters. Nexus almost made it happen. It came down to a 5 versus 6 at the end of that round, but they just got swarmed in the closing moments. Rounds number 2 and 3, however, very different entirely, because Tribe, they managed to bring out their operators at the start of the round on both occasions and just completely blew Nexus out of the water. There was no recovery whatsoever, not when that big of a life disadvantage had been built up.
Yeah, no, it was huge. It was huge. They snowballed to perfection. The side of Nexus tried to do the same thing as we were moving on to the 3rd round, but the side the fact that they just could not take that much value off of their operator was just the final nail in the coffin of that game number 3, right? The side of Tribe played it really smart, made sure that the value of every single situation was taken to near perfection. If I'm being honest, there was multiple scenarios where we saw over a 10 kill gap on round 2 and 3, and that's all because of how well coordinated they were playing from the start. They did not wait for Nexus to, you know, shake things off, try to bounce back up. No, they just they took the opportunity of them being on the ground and just did not stop shooting at them.
All right, well, next up then in this best of 5, we already discussed it at the start of this series. We are going to be seeing a standoff, and this is a map that we did see from Tribe back in week 1 of play for them. It was a map they actually ended up losing away to Hype Mobility, but again, we've already gone over that conversation. It felt like that was a little bit more of Hype Mobility having a real good standoff hardpoint, just being a standoff hardpoint team maybe compared to them actually not having such a good time. But we'll see. Still to play for as we get into the next map of play here. Tribe still looking to pull off a reverse sweep.
Oof, let's see. Can they actually go for it? So far, they took the first step in, and they are now managing to gain control over point number 1 here on Granny's. Patiently waiting on the graveyard. Big gonna take that kill into Cartel. Switches around, takes it a double, makes it like nothing. Goes for the triple, but Kings, I think that was gonna say no to that. That's gonna be the bounce back or attempt of a bounce back for Nexus. They're trying to break through the defensive side of Tribe. They finally gonna make it happen, but let's see for how long, as Washi is already trying to bounce back in. Washi with a double will try to clean things up. That's not gonna say no to that, and just like that, the fight continues. That is now a great start, and I gotta say the closest we've had so far.
Yeah, P1s are always mixy, right? So I don't think this is necessarily indicative of either of these two teams maybe having a struggle bus, as it were. However, it is indicative of the fact that P1s are always just a total mess. Things pretty even as we get into the second hard point here. Tribe Gaming, they want to be the first team to touch. They've got to win some gunfights to get it done, though. Washi gets overwhelmed around the backline. Envy also going to fall here. So Nexus now at the back of 3 kills in a row. They're going to dominate the kill feed momentarily here. Raf going to get control of the back alley with the R9. They should be the first team to touch.
Let's see. Inside. Gonna wait for the side of Nexus to try to defend. So far they're doing so. If Jazz with the Odin at a distance will do a lot of damage. Gets the assistant, gets the call, turns around. Looking at this window, patiently waiting, making sure that if I'm not taking points, you are not either. Eventually gets killed, but that was a push from Raf. Takes a double. My oh my, Raf. The man of the day, in my opinion, at least so far. 20 seconds left, and Tribe gonna be able to close that gap. It was a small one, but still was in there. Only less than 15 seconds left, and the fight continues to unfold. It seems like the side of Nexus opted out of the last few seconds in order to actually gain control over P number 3. Let's see how well that may pay off for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right play call, right? You always see it's this fundamental hardpoint. It's hardpoint 101. You get the last 15 seconds of a hill. You should be focusing on the rotations. You can look in a full 60 over by New, but they're not actually win the gunfights for the most part here. S-Thug and Kings going to have to utilize something here to get it done. S-Thug can't get the kills. As a matter of fact, he will pick up a couple with the Sparrow, but will take himself out of the play. No matter. We're going to see back spawns here for Nexus. Absolute utilization galore from both sides, though, as T-Bag picks up kills with a Purify. This thing is so deadly inside this hill. He will finally get shut down. Now Vague next up for a couple of kills, trying to cut these players off from that playground side. He's not going to be able to do anything. And after that flurry of engagement, Nexus should be looking for the back 20 seconds here. Tribe going to give this one up, and why wouldn't you?
My goodness, a complete bloodfest in here as we see the last few seconds of P number 3. All decks on the side of Market. Everybody's rotating in, but it's going to be Tribe who gets there first. 20-second lead in favor of Nexus. Now, Tribe, what can you say about that, man? What can you show us? What can you prove to us in here? There's Cartels trying to get inside. The defense is good. On Wash's hand, double kill there with Annihilator. Turns around, trying to help Revallo out. He knows that they're pushing in, throws a nade. The usage of operators has been just tremendous on both sides. The defensive part now for Tribe is going to take much more value here with the use of the Claw by Envy. Just spraying with it, not allowing anyone to walk by, and now with the Odin doing more of the same. He has the opportunity to use a Hunter Killer drone. May build that paper plane and throws it at that door, but no, opts to just wait it out, and that's a perfect defense in favor of Tribe. That's the perfect usage of a Pred missile. Takes another kill. There's the call for Revallo to continue to defend. The side of Nexus are not gonna be capable of getting inside, and that was a near perfect 40-second defense in favor of Tribe.
Yeah, just perfect utilization. I think just coming out from Tribe. They're still not done yet as well. There's a necessary hard point to try and take the lead away from Nexus. They're still looking for the back 5 seconds. Cartels will be able to double up and take that last few seconds away. So as we get into the second set here, Tribe, it's a tentative advantage for them. We saw how mixy P1 was last time around. Immediate gunfights being won here by Nexus, though. They don't want it to be mixy. They want a full hold.
Have to. Right now, Kings is the ones inside. He's getting some assistance there from Yes. Estog with a great Quadra there at a distance. I like the way that Nexus are defending now in here. They struggled like crazy on the past one, but this time around, they are doing the job here by defending Cartels. Finally, they break through on the side of Broken. Jez now trying to retake control alongside with Raph. Wrong with the kill, going for the double, gonna be taken down. The next one to try to make it is Kings, but gets kicked out. Has the opportunity for operators. There's 3 different ones on the hands of Nexus. I highly doubt they're gonna be using them in here, but I feel like point 2 could be another turn of events in favor of Nexus if they play their cards right.
Tribe with a tentative lead at the moment. Nexus gonna have to push through Brown to get to the next rotation here. Great play coming out from Vague with the R9. Will only find 1 kill though. Cartels trades things out. Investment a little early from Tribe. A little early here from Envy with the Claw. I don't think he's actually going to get anything for it. He was anticipating a faster push from Nexus. And now Nexus are knocking at the door. Kings and Raph going to find a couple of kills here. They've got operators to go if they want to use it. Vague on the other side is going to utilize the equalizers for 1 kill. Also T-Bag going to find 1 as well. Cartel's going to double up though. It's a pinstripe kill feed. Nexus looking to push their way through. They've done exactly that. Kings with the Annihilator. What can he do? Going to find 1. S-Thug also for a double kill. Jez will find number 4. Nexus basically wiped Tribe Gaming away. They're broken in for the time.
Oh my goodness, pure chaos. So many particles bouncing all over the place. The bullets, the grenades, everything being used pretty much at the same time. 20 seconds left, and I think that's the kill that we see in the last point split among these two because of how long they've been fighting inside of it here. Now Raph is gonna be taken down by Big, but eventually there's a knockback by the hands of Esther. Turns around and gets another kill, throws away that hunter killer drone, nearly getting that points for the Pred missile. Esther doing a tremendous job already with 33 kills for his name. But this time Tribe are back with the initial hold, and that could be deadly if Nexus are not careful enough. Raph was trying to use the equalizer in here, gonna take kill 1 onto Vague, trying to get inside. Raph, operator in hand, gotta be cautious, gotta be careful. That Pam is gonna hurt, but not as much as they want on the side of Tribe Gaming. Nexus still continuously trying to get inside, but they're not being able to. They are finally breaking through. They're finally getting inside, and there it is. That's the break, that's the point, and that's the heal going in favor now for Nexus.
Yeah, this hill is utter chaos, generally speaking. That's why you see operators coming out over and over again. Next one back here for Nexus is going to be Cartels with the War Machine. It's a bit of a risk using the War Machine inside Grandma's, though, because you can end up giving yourself a pellet to the leg and taking yourself out of the play. Unfortunately for Cartels, he goes by way of Tribe Gaming, though. S-Thug going to hold, as is Jez and Kings for the scrap time. So that last 15 seconds will go Nexus's way. Now we move over towards the next hard point. This is where Tribe were able to get a full 60 last time around. It was enough for a 20-point advantage at the end of the first set over Nexus, as they're now about 20 points down. They are looking for a convincing lead. Can they have as solid of a hold as they did before?
Can they, though? That's the biggest question. So far, they do get the initial pool. Inside of the hill is going to be, once again, T-Bag, washed with Annihilator, already with 3 kills. Looking to find some more. They're losing control on the inside. Gotta be careful. There's the use of the claw there by Jess. It's gonna be a kill for Raph. That's gonna be the push and the breakthrough in favor of Nexus. Tribe did it wonderful on the previous set of rotation of points, but this time around Nexus did have an answer to it. They used near all utilities they had available, and because of that, they break through it. There's still 30 seconds left. They still have control, but only 1 player alive. That's gonna be S-Dog. Let's see how long he can survive. Takes that kill, turns around, tries to make sure that he survives, but there's the claw by Envy. Envy then gets executed by Yes. Yes then bites the dust. There's the retake after retake after retake. Their fight does not stop here on standoff.
Now, we simply wanted to spear hill for Tribe Gaming, not bias casters, of course, but to see if they could get a full 60. A lead over Nexus. As a matter of fact, it's happened the other way. Envy and Washi will combine for 3, though. I think Envy actually picks up 3 in a row himself. Looking for the scrap time. Where Tribe Gaming. That kill will now finish up, and Tribe will be 40 points down as we go into the 3rd and final set. Big performance coming out from S-Thug in this game. Got to give him a shout out. 41 kills. How much further can he go? Tribe going to win the first wave of gunfights over by Nu though. Big opportunity for them here to get some time off the back of P1. Nexus looking to try and make their way through. Wesveen going to find a couple of kills. Jez firing back for a couple of his own. It's a pinstripe kill feed. S-Thug flying down from top round for a couple. He will find them. Nexus, they've broken in.
Oof, they are finally inside. Let's see if they can kick the opponents out as well. Oof, it's going to be the last man standing on the side of Tribe Gaming. It's going to be Washi. He waits for long enough so that his allies can back him out. And because of that, Tribe are now going to once again be closing that gap. They got to be careful. They got to be cautious. It's still not over, but it's quite close. 205 for Nexus. Now 205 as well for Tribe Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. This point is going to be over. Everybody going to be rotating, and the first to be there is going to be on the inside of point number 2. That's, I think that was Cartels. Let's see if he can survive. He's going to be alongside with none other than S-Thug, that, ladies and gentlemen, has 46 kills. He's redeeming himself after what has happened in the past and has caused so much pain on the opponent's wrath with equalizers. Not a lot of damage. There's Cartels with the use of the War Machine. Cartels trying to get inside. Can they do it? Can they break through? Gotta be careful. Jazz is executed as well. Revalo with the War Machine gets killed by S-Thug. And ladies and gentlemen, Tribe once again with things under control are gonna bounce back in, and they are now the ones with the lead.
Investment coming out from Nexus here, but they go down. Raballo finds 3, 2 of which come from the Hunter Killer Drone. Tribe now looking for the last 20 seconds off this hill. They could still finish things here. Nexus cannot, but they have to full send it towards this time to stop Tribe from winning. Vague will double up with the R9. T-Bag now going to find number 3. Investment, the Claw. What can they find? Envy going to take Raph down. Nexus forced towards the back alley, and I don't think Nexus can contest for this time. Tribe send us to a game 5.
Wow, no, out of this world. Out of this world, you gotta love it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Tribe, you said it yourself, has taken us to a game number 5, as we all deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, this game, pure chaos all over the place. There was never a clear winner between these two because of how close they were fighting, just neck to neck, side to side, trying to shove each other apart. They tried their hardest on Nexus side not to take us to a game 5. And the Tribe does not care about your feelings. It is what they want. What they want is for us to go to the 5th one. I'm just so happy of what we've seen so far. I gotta say that we've had a bit of a redemption, specifically from Ravallo, to what we saw on that Search and Destroy, where he struggled a bit. He ended up being MVP at the end, but I still feel like on the side of Tribe, they were just a bit short on that end of the spectrum, but that is no longer the case. Now here, they are not close. They are closing things up. 2 for each and Infinity. We got a 5th map as we take a look on the leaderboard of this 4th one.
I mean, you're saying Raballo doesn't show up there. He absolutely does. Over 60 seconds inside the time, he finishes with 35 kills. That's almost the kill leader for the roster. And he has that huge triple right at the close of the game to step things up for Tribe, the entire roster, with a huge clutch up in the closing moments of the game. It has to be said as well, Nexus were 40 points up as we go into the third and final set of kills. The fact that Tribe were able to close that gap and then take the lead off the back of a P1 and P2 hold is incredible from Tribe, and it was what gets us to a game number 5. Shout out Tribe Gaming. We said they should not be underestimated, even with Nexus performing as strongly as they were, and to be fair, still are through the first couple of maps. You can never count a roster as, I guess, experienced like Tribe out in these situations, and for that reason now they are just 1 map away from pulling off a reverse sweep over Nexus. Our first look at what 2 North American Titans are like going up against one another in a proper competitive setting. This is not scrims anymore. There is actual qualification for Challengers Finals on the line, and this is what we've got. It's been an incredible series.
That's right. It's the golden ticket on the line for them to move on to the next season, on to the next part of this SPS series. It's just been amazing to see them just not giving up because there's no reason for them to. They still had a shot, and they are proving themselves worth of the spot that they're in. We're moving on to the final 5th map, and I'm just not quite sure what to expect, man. You know, like I feel like there's just no way to have a favorite because of how close they've been across the whole series.
Look, Lauren often asks for predictions. I never give them for a reason, and I'm certainly not going to here. Nexus versus Tribe is impossible to pass how this is going to go. First Search and Destroy in this best of 5 went all the way to a round 12. Nexus were able to take that one away. Can they do it this time around? And Tribe doing something different off the start of this Express Search and Destroy. They barrel it straight towards A. Nexus don't expect it. Kings will pick up that first blood against Vague, though, but they have to retake.
Yeah, Raf did not realize that King, there was an enemy behind him, managed to survive thanks to, I think that was King that helped him out, but that could be more than enough damage in there. The side of Tribe tried to surprise the opponents, and they did. I mean, let it be said, they did surprise the opponents by planting that bomb, but that was about it. That was about it. Nexus immediately had an answer to what was going on. They only suffered a single casualty. 3 kills, 4 Kings. That's round 4 Nexus in a great way to just slap the back of Tribe because they were trying to be sneaky in there, but that was just not enough.
All right, well, they're going to go for it again. Not content with a potential 50-50 over by B. They want to get this bomb down over by A, and it's the exact same strat once again. The smoke going to be down. Is that enough coverage, though, is the question for me. They don't send somebody right into the open arms of Kings this time around. They're going to get the bomb down and instead reinforce themselves around the top control center. Kings now. Can he get something done? Gets the tag against Raballo. Maybe Raf for the R9 here is going to be able to trade things out, and he will. Raf doubles up on towards Raballo. Now numbers in favor of Nexus. Vague will answer back. Vague also now finding a double. It's absolute R9 carnage. Envy for another kill. And all of this will lead now to Jez in a 1 versus 3. Do not want to count out Jez in this scenario. 20 seconds on the clock, though. It's a lot to ask for a retake. Tribe close that round out. Second time lucky here on the site.
Whenever you think that Raf is gonna just destroy with the R9, there's Big to show us how good he is with it as well. Double kill for Big allows to just completely shift apart that route for the side of Nexus and brings victory home. Now there's only been 10 seconds and not near half the lobby has been executed. The Ravallo gonna be popped by Raf. Kings with the kill onto Washi, and that's the end of that round. What was that, 20 seconds again? These two are just out for blood, no mercy.
Yeah, I think that's one of those rounds where I can forgive you for talking the entire round, Gil, because it was so fast. About 30 seconds there with Nexus running straight over towards the site. They will win the 50-50s over towards B, and that's why those things can be dicey. It's a lot to put in towards a round. Envy going to lose the first blood over by B. And Tribe Gaming here, well, it looked initially like it might be trying to put an A hit together, and they still arguably could. It's not as convincing, especially with a man down. They're not sure about it just yet, but now they're making their way over there. And this is why you always see teams make an assertive push, because now you've given up map control. You've allowed Raf in towards the lockers. Never mind. Raballo wins that gunfight. Also more going the way of Tribe, and now the advantage is in their favor.
That's right. Planting that bomb. It's going to be a clear advantage in favor of Tribe. See if they can capitalize on it. 4v3, an 8 kill for Cartels, but just gets killed by T-Bag. Ravallo with the defensive play, just patiently waiting. Only 2 enemies left. Less than 30 seconds in here. Asta with the knock onto Ravallo. Tries to go for more Cartels. With a shotgun kill onto Washi. Now T-Bag all of a sudden is on his own. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 seconds left. Let's see if he can do it. Gonna get popped by Cartels. And a bit more of body shooting, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it out there. These two, they're in it to win it. But whew, are they in for a laugh as well in the meantime?
A couple of love taps. Sure, there was nothing mean in there. Nothing insidious from Cartels. Extra bullets to the body. Nexus able to retake, though. Tribe. They really are trying to give Nexus some different looks in these rounds, but Nexus seems to be able to come out on top and clutch up time and time again. Once again, Tribe playing relatively passively in this round. The one player that wasn't off the start was Vague. He's going to lose the gunfight inside ticket. And now for Tribe here, you're stuck. Exact same scenario as well. You want to rotate over towards A, but Nexus already have Kings over here. It's a problem for Tribe.
All right, okay. 30 seconds and only a single player down. That's going to be Big. Unfortunately enough for Big, not having as much of an impact as he likes to. That single player knocked could be a reason for Tribe just to lay back for a bit. Just try to wait to see if they can have a kill or two prior to actually making a decision. So far, the side of Nexus just forms a straight line across the middle of the map and waits. Because they don't have to do anything besides that. At this point in time, they know how important this match is, and a single mistake can cause the doom of your team. So might as well just play it smart, right? Play it safe.
Tribe need to make a decision soon. 40 seconds on the clock now. Attempt to get in towards the site is going all right here. Jess has already picked off Raballo. How much more can you find it? Tribe decide, look, now we've got to make a decision. Now's the rotation over towards A, but now it's Kings looking to pick up the snipe. Kings will snap onto 2. Now just Envy left up for a 1v5. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Envy, but he can't even get the first snipe off. Cartels will make an assertive final fight to cap off an assertive round from Nexus.
You wanna show us our reverse sweep try? Well, Nexus are not happy about a potential situation like that. Starting map number 5, tremendously going their way. 4-1 lead. Last round before we flip spawns. Let's see if they can at least close a little bit that gap on the side of Tribe. We're gonna see Big pushing with a shotgun. Finally, finding kill number 3. Immediately, T-Bag pushing for more. They want to plant the bomb. Watching at a distance, gonna take that snipe against Cartels. They got the opportunity to plant the bomb. T-Bag with a kill onto Kings. T-Bag with a kill onto Rav. T-Bag pushing for more, and only S-Thug is alive. Ladies and gentlemen, Tribe, they desperately needed that round. They're gonna plant that bomb, S-Thug. It's gonna be difficult. It's possible, but let's see what you can do, mate.
S-Thug for a 1v4. This is a big ask out of him. It's not the end of the world if he doesn't win this round, considering Nexus have already taken 4 defensive rounds away. And yet still, never count these players out. Try and clear some zones first. Is he going to check the corner? First things first. Yes, he will. Actually, he slides out for the second as well. Hold on. This is still possible, even with 15 seconds left. Tries to re-entry towards the site. Vague predicts perfectly where S-Thug is going to go and shuts him down. So at the half here, Nexus looks slightly better on the defense. How will they fare as we switch towards the offense?
I generally like how aggressive a team can be on offense here on Express. The side of Tribe did do so a couple of times, but it only worked at least once. Let's see if Nexus decides to be aggressive. Similarly going to be the case. Jay's going to find that hit marker and immediately capitalizes with a pistol. That's going to be the first blood. Bomb is down. 40 seconds on the clock, and all of a sudden, the world may be crumbling apart once again for Tribe. They've already lost 4 rounds. They could be losing one more. Jess and Raph with the kills. Jess with the double. Jess looking for the triple. Misses that shot. Takes out the secondary and takes it. Makes it like nothing. A jump and a 360 to show us how confident he is with himself. That was a triple kill, but that was 4 knocks that he had that round. Jess, Nexus, another point going their way. Tribe, you can't count them out, but they are suffering real hard in here.
It's only 1 round. I don't want to get too confident just yet in this Nexus roster. I would feel confident if they're able to get the bomb down for free over by A. Raph looking for the opening engagement. He's going to find it versus T-Bag here. Raph is getting super aggressive, and why wouldn't you? Raph is feeling himself. A double here that completely clears the path over by A. Tribe Gaming now. 1 man down in the situation. A lot of different timing situations here that might not go their way. A late flank perhaps to worry about from Kings. Tribe now just trying to retake this site.
Incredible how much of an impact Raph has had so far. Cartels with the kills gets revenge fragged by Raballo. And be knocked by Kings. 3 for 1. Raballo with a kill. Kings with a final knock. That's a double in a round. You said 1 was not enough. Well, what about 2 in a row now? In favor of Nexus. This is a match point. This is ticket point for the next season.
I talked about it. It was Kings there in that play that made the difference. Nexus now looking for the final round that would get them to challenge finals. Vague's going to open things up with the first blood. S-Thug will trade things out. King's now finding more value here. Numbers in favor of Nexus through the middle of the map. Cartels wants to line these guys up. All down to Washki to survive. Cartels not going to happen. And what an explosive way to close this search and destroy in this series. Yeah, you can say that, buddy, because Nexus have got themselves in a challenge finals.
I told you. I just love Express for that reason. You on the offensive side can be as aggressive as you wish to be, and Nexus in here were not playing games. They were 3 rounds short from winning that game. Well, let me take them straight. No ice needed, because the ice is the one that I have on my veins, ladies and gentlemen. Tribe are going to fall to the loser bracket, let things be said, but Nexus, I gotta say that it was an easy road for them, but it clearly was not. They had to fight deep into the trenches against Tribe. But look at those final numbers. Look at Cartels, look at Kings. Come on now, man. It hurts to see it like this, but it was insane how they were playing. And I just mentioned Cartels and Kings because of the KD per se, but I can say the same about Raph, about S-Thug. It was insane. They played it really, really good. And I just gotta say, I gotta bring in a round of applause for them, because it was not an easy road. They have managed to get their way into the next move as we take a look onto what is going to be the end of Group B.
Really fun matchup there between Nexus and Tribe Gaming. We knew that was going to be a tough back and forth, but in the end, it's Nexus who come out on top, solidifying spot number 2 in the challenge finals. But that means there's still 2 spots left up for grabs, which means we'll have 2 more matches next week to determine which 2 teams that'll be. And of course, Tribe Gaming will have one more opportunity to claim that last spot. They will face off against a Hydra. We're not done yet. It's just now Nexus and Status Quo have made it a little easier on themselves, as they'll get to sit and watch from the wings, Brody.
Yeah, honestly, I'm so excited for next week. Just looking at kind of the games we've got, I think we're in for some really competitive games. I think we've kind of spoken to death about how competitive Group B is, and I think Tribe should not rest on their laurels. I think Hydra are a roster that can absolutely take maps off them, and perhaps, I mean, maybe I'm reaching here. I don't know. I'm just trying to add some flavor to it. Perhaps they can take that final challenge's final spot away from them. But even more exciting, I think, is that the potential between Kaya Nation and Horus Esports in Group A as well. I think that's just going to be such a good match again. We saw that Kaya Nation had moments of competitiveness today against Status Quo. I think facing an easier opponent per se, not an easy opponent, but an easier opponent, I think should provide an entertaining match.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me your thoughts on the day.
I feel like it was exactly what we anticipated, right? The first one quite smoothly on the side of Status Quo, earning their spot. And in here, I can't stop saying it, I enjoyed every single second of it. Next week is gonna be closer than you all may think, and I gotta say that if you missed a single second of that final match, might as well give it a rewatch, because it's just so worth it. As we take a glance, Glitter, onto what's gonna happen next weekend.
Mentioned it a couple times. You guys have heard us here talking about it on the broadcast. Obviously, the teams that we watched play here today are not out of the competition yet. We had teams waiting in the wings to see who they'd be facing off against, and as Kaya Nation and Tribe Gaming dropped down into the last matchup left in the entire challenge season, they will be facing off next week. Kaya against Horus Esports and Tribe Gaming against a Hydra. So we still have one more week of competition of the regular season, and then we'll know which of the 4 teams in the region have become the top 4, who will be competing against each other in challenge finals, which teams will be fighting for the ability to continue on in the competition, of course, and make their way through to champs. But If you missed anything here today and you're just joining us now, we're done for today. There's still one more week of regular season competition left to come. Or if you've missed anything prior or you want to keep up with what we've got coming in the future, just follow us on social media. We've got X, Insta, and Facebook, where you'll get all of your updates related to the Snapdragon Pro Series, and that way you'll know exactly what we've got going on here, whether that's in NA or any of our other regions for Call of Duty Mobile. Or you can join our Discord at discord.gg/Snapdragon Pro Series, where you can join our community, talk all things Call of Duty Mobile, and of course continue to get all of those updates. And one final time, we'll ask you guys here, we'll pop that QR code up on your screen in just a second. If you could scan that with your mobile device, it'll take you to a survey, ask you your thoughts on the SPS, what you love about it, areas you think we could improve, things you'd love to see in the future. We'd love to hear from you. And if you do that, you'll be entered in to win a $100 gift card. It's super quick and easy. And of course, we'd love to hear your thoughts. But you've heard us say it a couple times now. 2 teams have claimed their spot in the challenge finals, which means Status Quo and Nexus will just get to sit back and watch as the rest of the teams fight for those last 2 remaining spots next week, July 27th. So of course, obviously, make sure you tune back in to see how all of it plays out. As always, a huge thank you to Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy, Monster Energy, DHL, and the U.S. Air Force for helping us make this whole thing possible. And thank you to all of you at home for watching. We'll see you next week.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.